Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to our second round of the World Chess Team Championship. We are live broadcast thing from Antalya Kemer. Hi Mihail.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi John. Good, thank you.
If you want, let's make a summary of the first round.
Okay.
Yesterday, what happened? Let's see it in a short summary. On the first round, let's remember the matches. Germany played against Egypt. Germany has beaten Egypt 2.5 against 1.5. In Germany's side, there was an upset from Arkady Naidic, who was beaten by Semi Shoker, around 227 elo points below, you know, of Naidic. Yes, so it was a big surprise of yesterday. So Germany has beaten Egypt 2.5 and 1.5. Turkey was beaten by Azerbaijan. The only loss of Turkey was Mustafa Yilmaz against Nijat Mamedov. China has beaten Netherlands. On that match also the only loss was Sergei Tivyakov's loss from Netherlands side against Bu Zianzi. Ukraine has beaten USA, which was one of the most important matches of yesterday.
Yes.
Anton Korobov, after a good game, has beaten Gatakamsky, as we analyzed yesterday, with black. It was a very good game, actually. Kamsky played one of his favorites, Bishop F4 variations, but Anton Korobov came up with a good idea against this opening, and afterwards he won a pawn, and in the ending he won the game. And Russia, yesterday's one of the most important match was Russia against Armenia, which was ended in draw. All the 4 matches was draw, but actually one of them, which also we analyzed with Mihail, was in favor of Sarkisyan against Nepomniachtchi.
Yeah,
he had a really winning position, which was analyzed later on here from Jan Nepomniachtchi. He came here, he analyzed for us. He also told that he was very lucky in that game.
Yeah, but he also told that he was better after the opening,
so maybe, but still, it was an interesting match. Very interesting match indeed.
Even though all the draws, but it was not Grandmaster draws, right? They fought till the end.
They were just fighting till the end. So it was the brief summary of yesterday matches. Let's see today.
So today also there are 10 teams only, and most of them are very good, and they are favorites in this tournament. So almost every day we're gonna have some key matches. Like today we have United States versus Russia. So we would closely follow Nakamura-Kramnik game, and also another interesting match is China-Ukraine. China and Ukraine are so far the leaders right now. So even though United States lost to Ukraine, they are still capable of, it's a close tournament, anything could happen. So they are still one of the favorites, and so is Russia as usually, even though with a draw against Armenia. So China versus Ukraine, and we would be following Li Chao Ivanchuk game and Korobov Dingliren, I guess. And Armenia is playing Egypt. So unless there is some big surprise from Egypt, Armenia should be winning, though they gave a rest day to Levon Aronyan, but they are still, well, every player of Armenia has a higher elo than the strongest, Bassem, Egypt. So it's a huge difference. So as I said, unless no surprises, Armenia is supposed to win this match. More or less equal matches are against Azerbaijan-Netherlands. Okay, maybe a slight favor to the Netherlands. So we would be following Mamedov-Giri and Van Velle-Safarli games. And other, of course, if there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. And the fifth match is Germany versus Turkey. So
which will be the revenge of European Chess Championship, Team Championship, which Turkey was had won 3.5 against half points. Big surprise from Turkish side.
So Turkey won against Russia and
today
Germany.
They will want to get the revenge.
But also Turkey would want to win his match because yesterday was a tough loss, I guess.
Yeah.
So today Turkey is gonna try to prove that they are
still holding,
not underdogs right here. So these are situations so far. And
also, Mihail, as we spoke with you before the round, yesterday while we analyzed all the games, of course it was not possible for us to analyze all the games.
All of them, of course.
We decided to, in order to show from each match two games, so that in a fair way we can see, people can see the matches of their teams, you know, of all the teams. Minimum 2 matches we will analyze from each match, 2 games from each match, and then if there is an interesting game going on
we would focus
matches,
on that.
We will focus also on that.
And also if some of them quickly finish, we would refocus on some other games. So I suppose we would start with Nakamura Kramnik.
Yes.
And we have a Nimzowicz defense. Nimzowicz defense was played. So
yesterday also we saw something like this yesterday in Ukraine.
Yesterday, a game Akobian Krivoruchko. Krivoruchko got serious problems. I think he was losing yesterday with the correct play. I didn't check the game, but I was told that Akobian made a mistake on move number 40.
Now number 40.
Yeah, and so more or less
ended up
in a draw, and Ukraine won the match. But got a little lucky, I guess. So, and this was the variation played in that game: a3 takes, knight f3, d takes c4, queen takes c4, b6.
The same variation.
Was absolutely same variation. Very well-known theoretical position. So, what is the idea of Black's play? You know, if you take a look at the position, White has 2 bishops. White has a stronger center, right? The pawn on d4, and more space. White should be better. But there is one problem in this position, that White cannot really finish his development on the king side because of this bishop a6. You can see bishop g5, bishop a6 was played. Now the queen can move to c2, a4. I think 2 moves available usually here. And then White is having problems finishing the development because, for example, queen c2, I think even c5 is the move here. I'm not really an expert of this line. And Black opens up the position like this and wants to get to White's king, and White has no time to play stuff like e3 because, okay, now queen a5 is an option, but suppose White played e3 earlier, there's always bishop takes f1, and White will have problems castling in the future, and Black, of course, Black's pawn structure is worse, so if White finishes the development, White would have a lasting advantage. But Black, usually Black is quite energetic here with queen b6, knight c6 and stuff, so these are the main ideas of this line. So there are hundreds of games played in this position, and actually I'm a little surprised that
I think it's the game continued. Let's see the rest of the game. You can see.
Oh, but this is my analysis.
This is your analysis. We didn't.
1 second. Okay, so far it's theoretical position. So I suppose we jump to second game and
Grichuk against Kamsky.
So Kamsky favorite opening, Rui Lopez, Spanish defense. Bishop e7, d3. Yeah, actually now it became quite popular to play like that. d3, maybe that's because of Carlsen's way of playing, I don't know. I remember first time I saw his games, he played, okay, in this game White played knight c3, but Carlsen used to play stuff like, h3, h3 move, a3, then knight bd2. So I was quite surprised, you know, how can you get advantage playing a3 and h3? But it turns out it's not that easy for black, because not that easy for black to find the plan. White is just moving his knight to e3 or to g3, and maybe threatening d4 at some point. So it's not as computer gives 0.00, but that is not the way it goes. You know,
knight c3 has been
knight
played?
c3 has been played. Yeah, knight c3 has been played. Kind of a surprise. Usually the pawn goes to c3, right, to support t4. And Kamsky, I guess, is a little bit surprised with this
well,
move.
also this knight c3 move, I think, is if you play, for example, c3 or knight d2, bd2, is preventing d5, which can be, you know, a weapon against this kind of variations.
Yeah.
Lately, it has been played by Tomaszewski with a success. Against Kamsky also he played this variation. So it's a good weapon against this system. But knight c3, of course, prevents this.
Yeah, of course, knight c3. And also it's not only knight can jump to d5 now at some point, but it can also go back to the main maneuver, knight e2, knight g3, transposing maybe in some cases, and maybe saving a tempo on c3 move. But not a very common move here, but those are thousands of games played like this.
Lately it became popular, this kind of variations, yes?
Well, yeah. So lately white is seeking for a way to just get normal position with clear plan and just play chess, because in the main lines, usually because of Marshall counterattack.
Very deeply analyzed.
Deeply analyzed till the end, I guess. Now lately nobody goes into the main lines because of that. So usually people try to choose some not very well developed lines just to play normal chess. So now Kamsky is thinking.
Let's move to, if you want, to another match.
Okay, we would take a look at some other match. Let us go to Germany and Turkey.
Okay.
Oh wow. Well-known theoretical line.
Poison pawn.
Yeah, it's not actually that poisoned, you know. The people are taking
you
it
analyze from the Naydic Yılmaz match, huh?
Naydic Yılmaz, yes.
Which board?
This is not the first board, sorry. Henkin Ipatov, yes, of course, that is the first board. D4, B6.
Ipatov, he plays such kind of openings.
I'm surprised.
Unorthodox openings. But against, of course, Henkin, D4, B6.
Interesting. B6. I'm very surprised.
And white replied.
He didn't play E4. He played knight F3. He keep it solid. So it might transpose to Nimzo Indian. Yeah. Yes. But knight F6, bishop G2, and G6.
G6.
Double fianchetto.
Double fianchetto variation.
So my guess is Alexander wants to get out of the theory and just play chess. And I suppose he's playing for a win. What do you say?
Of course.
Usually these sort of unorthodox openings are used as a weapon to just
this
get
is
to
his
play
style.
straight.
He likes to play. He likes to make his opponent go out of the theory.
Yes,
in that way, in the middle game, he thinks that he will be more powerful. He has more powerful resources. He thinks. So, but still. The game is
interesting.
Too early to say something about this game.
Of course, there are many games played. C4 is the main move here. Obviously, try to grab more center. So far, the strongest move is C4. You know, 600 games played with C4 and 30 games played with C3. Well, I don't think Henkin's gonna play C3. That is
C3.
T3 just
looks very passive.
Very passive. Yeah, it's just the most you can hope is a draw. You know, at least that's a sign. You know, people usually, for example, weak players, when they are playing against much stronger, they try to keep it solid from the opening, and this is the way they would go. But I highly doubt that Henking's gonna do c3. He's gonna play c4. He's gonna play c4. So we can leave it at that.
Yeah, it's too early to say anything about this game.
Board number 2, Solak Mayer. All right, French defense. Mayer is an expert in French defense. Yeah, I played him myself. I didn't get a bit of advantage. Then I even had to sacrifice a pawn to prove that well, I can fight for something, and we just agreed for a draw, even though the computer already favored him. But I was psychologically, you know, pushing. You know, I sacrificed a pawn. I was so active. So actually, he agreed for a draw, and I was also was quite happy with my position. But but I didn't get an advantage after all. So actually, I played knight d2 and c5. This was our game. Yeah, and I took, and I took d takes c5. Yeah, that was last year. Last year we played. Knight gf3, c takes d, bishop c4, queen d6, castle, knight f6, knight b3, knight c6. So far the theory: knight d4, knight d4, knight d4, a6, rook e1, queen c7. Okay, so the next two black moves might seem a little bit weird. You know, usually you're supposed to castle, right? But here, I guess knight b5 was an annoying threat. So, for example, if bishop e7, then knight b5, and some problems. So a6 is necessary. Rook e1, and I don't know why not bishop e. Why don't they play bishop e7 here? Oh, there were games with bishop e7. Okay. But queen c7 is far the
maybe he has some intention with bishop c5,
or bishop d6 also.
Bishop d6, maybe
but
knight f5. But
that's
bishop takes h2
is
maybe it's very complicated.
Oh, queen c7 it's not losing a tempo; it's just pushing the bishop away with the tempo. So
also he has, you know, he can also play the bishop somewhere else, not maybe bishop e7 or. Which one is the best?
Oh, actually, bishop f1 is turned out to be a very rare move.
He played bishop f1?
Yeah, the main move is bishop b3.
Yeah,
by far 700 games.
Really interesting.
250 games on queen e2. And bishop d3. Maybe he's transposing the bishop to big diagonal. Usually
maybe g3 and
that's usually that's an excellent spot for a bishop.
Why he shouldn't have played this move otherwise?
He was definitely expecting Mayer to go here because he plays French quite frequently, and c5 is his main weapon against knight d2. So I guess
Dragan is playing white.
Yeah, Dragan is playing white, and I think that's his home preparation. Queen f3, interesting. So far, 2 games only played. Oh, Akopyan Mayer was played, so and Akopyan won.
New game.
Last year.
Ah, that's why probably he played this variation.
Yeah.
Akopyan against Mayer.
Akopyan against Mayer last year. Yeah.
Interesting.
So let's see who would be the first one to move to. Okay, so these
so
are
far all the same moves.
So far all the same moves. So far all the same moves, and Akopyan won that game. Akopyan won it. Just a few more moves were made, like queen c7, looks normal, c4, bishop d7, h3, rook fd8, and g4. So bishop is coming to big diagonal.
Yeah. So this is the idea.
This g5, very aggressive. Maybe it was a rapid chess. You know, it seems so. I don't know. It does not say here. Knight d7, h4, and Akopyan won this way. So Solak is questioning Mayer's preparation, if he found a better way to deal with this. Usually strong grandmasters, well, that's what they do, you know, especially when you lose a game. You analyze at least the opening very well, so that next time you don't get in the same trouble. Yeah. Or maybe Mayer considered that he had no problems, maybe he was outplayed later.
Yes, this is also possible.
Yeah, so far theoretical position.
Interesting.
So queen c7 actually was played.
The last move, queen
Queen
c7, bishop
c7.
f1.
Queen c7 was played.
Again,
And
c4 we are expecting probably.
we're expecting c4 unless Dragan came up with, according to the time, Dragan has 1 hour 34 minutes. So
he plays
he's completely
without thinking.
It's his preparation for sure. And Meyer already spent
more than 10 minutes.
More than 10 minutes, yeah. So so far I think Dragan caught him a little bit unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens here.
Yes, this is interesting
Okay.
game. So let's move on to
some other matches. Let's go to China-Ukraine. What do you say?
yes, sure.
Okay.
We have also Ivanchuk's game, which will be very interesting.
Okay. Li
Against
Chao,
Li Chao.
Ivanchuk. All right. Exchanged Slav. It used to be an opening where, you know, they just go to make a draw.
Yeah.
But lately, maybe with the hands of Alexander Morozevich, you know, do you know how he used to play this line? He used to play f3, g4,
Ah, yes.
and just push like that, and then quite successfully. So he could even breathe fresh spirit into this boring-looking position with f3,
Yeah.
g4. Okay, not right away, of course.
This exchange
But-
variation lately became very popular.
Yeah, Kramnik beat Aronian
Yes.
last year, I think, on the
Because
Olympiad.
there is
right?
some kind of small advantage, but
Small, lasting
always,
advantage. Yeah,
constant advantage.
yeah.
You can keep it
For a long time.
for a
you
long
can,
time, and
Yeah.
your opponent in the end can break up. You know, it's just
Yeah.
not
Under pressure, yeah.
Yes, under the pressure.
Bishop f5. Interesting. Normally it goes like this. Knight f6. Why can't I move the pieces? And normally
maybe
black.
You have to do it like this. Oh no,
Maybe
we
it's
have, you have to see. There is a. You have to not to get the moves.
Okay, so Ivanchuk decides to develop the bishop right away. Normally, if black does this way, if white plays just knight f3, bishop d3, that's completely equal. For just nothing to talk about. But there is a problem, you know. This one tempo that white has is very useful. White plays queen b3 here. And black is facing problems with, take a look, the position is completely symmetrical.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be equal, but it's white to move, and white goes queen b3 right away. As I say, if white plays knight f3, then I think black equalized quite easily. Queen b, oh, actually queen b3, very rare move. I'm surprised.
Queen
b3, very rare move. In the database, 120 games on knight f3. Bishop d3 is second favorite, bishop b5 third, and queen b3 third favorite move in this position. Queen b3, interesting.
It's really interesting. Wow,
It makes so much
It
sense.
looks so logical.
Yeah. What is the problem? Why? And actually, it hasn't been played on Grandmaster level. Queen b3.
Really interesting.
The strongest
I
player
don't
who played this
why.
is 2603 rating. It's very strange.
Why it's not been played? I don't see. Maybe bishop b4.
Well, white would get two
Maybe you
bishops.
can get some transposition with bishop b4, bishop b5, queen a5.
Maybe queen d7 is the reason it makes
queen d7.
queen.
But then knight f3.
Queen d7
yes.
actually was played, and I guess white has to come up with like knight f3 and bishop b5 and knight e5.
Yes, but now maybe knight f3, a6.
And then the b6 square is weak.
Knight a4, you mean?
F3, a6. Yeah, I would consider playing knight a4. Oh, bishop b4 check. All right.
Bishop b4, possible.
Okay, maybe then I go not knight f3. Maybe I go bishop b5.
Yeah, this looks, but still a6. And the
A6,
bishop has no place but take. If you go to
the
a4.
point is, if you take with the pawn, that's what I want.
Actually, you can go
But
to
if
a4
I
for
can
one
go to
move.
A4?
Because b5, no, you cannot go, sorry.
b5
No, you
takes,
cannot
take
go,
knight
sorry,
g7.
sorry,
is
sorry,
always
we
an
don't
option,
have
yeah.
it. No.
So what do I do after queen d7? Oh, but they both spend a lot of time. They are both not expecting this line. Maybe bishop f5 is a rare move. Let me check. Oh yes, bishop f5 is by far the rare move. The main move is knight f6 here. Knight f6. The main move is knight f6 and for example knight c3 and a6.
Yeah,
well, first of all, knight b5 is an annoying threat now, and black does not want to play e6 here because it would block the bishop. So that's why black usually goes a6. Black usually goes a6 here, and then waiting for white, and then the bishop comes to g4 or f5. That is the main line. So bishop f5 is very rare move by Ivanchuk. So they are both surprised. You can see they both spent more than 10 minutes, 15.
Interesting.
So it means, I would guess that they are on Ivanchuk's territory. What do you say?
Well,
knight f3.
He played Ivanchuk, you know, he always plays very well the openings.
Yeah, because he plays so many of them, but he knows them a lot. No, of course not. Of course not. So yeah, I think now a6.
They were playing as we expected, knight f3.
Knight f3.
Probably a6 now.
Or if, actually knight f6 is the main move here, but interesting.
Knight f6 is the main move.
Yeah, knight f6.
So against bishop b5?
And against bishop
a6? No, maybe.
I actually wouldn't let that happen. I like a6 much more. a6. What to do?
What about bishop d6? Is it possible bishop d6 on
instead of a6?
Yeah.
Oh, f6 was already played.
f6?
f6, yes.
Oh, this
f6
is
was
interesting.
Knight f3.
Ivanchuk played f6.
Ivanchuk played f6.
This looks a little bit weird, huh? Because
maybe that's Morozevich style.
Yeah,
g5
G5
coming.
is coming. So they reversed the tables.
Yeah. Actually, it makes sense.
The colors change now.
If white plays just normal moves like bishop e2, castle, rook c1, the
G5
advantage.
and h5 is coming.
Maybe Vasily is playing for a win aggressively. All right.
But now maybe he has to deal with the. What about knight h4, for example? What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Bishop
g4,
bishop
h5,
g4
f7.
now,
I'm
yes.
gonna escape. Yeah.
Bishop g4. So this is nothing.
So
knight h4 is not a good idea.
Yeah, but what about just finishing the development?
Bishop e2.
Bishop e2.
Is he going to play?
Let's
maybe
say. Let's
bishop
assume
d6 or g5.
Let's assume g5.
Bishop g3. How are you going?
Well, h5 too risky. It feels.
Maybe knight.
h5, I go h4, you go g4, and then I'm gonna use the c5 square. Knight a4, rook c1. These, and then this knight from c3 could come to f4. Looks too risky. h5 to me. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, we would leave Lichau thinking.
Yes.
I guess he's surprised with bishop f5, and now he is surprised with f6. Even though exchanged variations, love, it's still supposed to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with you.
Let's go to board number 2. Korobov Ding.
Yes. Yesterday's hero, Korobov, against USA. He managed to win against Kamsky. So today, he is also probably. Will be the main weapon of Ukraine.
g3, bishop g2, d6, knight f3, king's Indian, okay, queen c2, a6 and a4.
Ding Liren, as you know, always plays king's Indian with
really?
pieces. Yes, and he doesn't change this opening, this defense. Always plays king's Indian. So whatever you prepare, he's ready.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not afraid of any preparation against him.
Well, usually if you play King's Indian, that's like playing Grunfeld. Usually it takes all your time, and you know you can play Slav defense and Queen's Gambit and stuff like that. Not so many first lines to remember.
Exactly.
But in King's Indian, Grunfeld, they are very demanding. For example, I myself. Wanted to learn them for black, but you know it's so much work to do, and you cannot then unfocused to some other openings, because there's always, you should always follow the theory. You should always.
Also, it's a very long theory.
And so many options. So many options for white.
If you don't revise them, you can forget it very easily. And what you are checking.
Yeah, it's not only important to analyze it, but to
check,
remember.
Recheck all the time.
Before every game.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to,
and that's because white has so many options, you know. Black, not so many options, I think. D6 castle, well, yeah, also C5, E5 are options, and for white, so many options, so very demanding opening, I think.
You're right,
King's
I agree
Indian.
with you.
Okay, and A4, actually, surprises and surprises come. B3 is by far, more than 2,000 games was played with B3 in this position.
A4 is Korobov's probably novelty.
Can you imagine more than 2,000 games with B3 and 80 games with A4?
80 games.
And there's 2,000 on B3. So A4 is...
it's not a novelty, but
not
it's
a novelty,
very rare move.
Very rare move.
It prevents B5.
I wonder what is the idea, you know? What if black goes, just prepares it with bishop D7? Or maybe he just thinks that that bishop on B7 is misplaced. Maybe B3, B5, A takes B, A takes B. But this looks like exchanging A-pawns, looks like in black's favor. I don't know. Okay, we would see what is Korobov's idea here.
Interesting.
So Dingleran is surprised with this choice.
Is
he
it possible,
already
for
spent
example,
20 minutes.
Bishop D7, maybe there is another idea to play Rook B1 and B4, maybe. I'm just looking at the position.
You mean here?
Well,
if black doesn't push B5 right away, I guess that's an option, definitely.
Even though he pushes, is it
Rook
possible
B1,
to play? I don't know, but
let me check if
it can be very complicated line, but after taking on B5 and then in the end playing B4.
Takes.
One more time.
And
one more time you take. And
with
then
what?
With pawn.
With a pawn.
Bishop takes and now B4. Is
Bishop
it possible?
takes.
I don't know. Maybe nothing this.
Maybe it's just a draw.
Maybe just a draw.
Just takes and moves the bishop away.
This? Nothing. Also we have this knight just on C3 after Rook C8. Yeah. So this is not a good idea.
Actually, white could be in trouble here.
Yes.
Because this bishop on G2 is not working, and then bishop on G7 is working.
So this is the only thing is for white is to go with the knight on C6 square, but which is not so easy. Yeah. Also, it's controlled by the knight and the bishop.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see what is Korobov's idea.
Surely he has an idea.
Of course.
Bishop D7 and B5 looks very, simple, you know.
Yes, so maybe he would use that A file somehow. I don't know. Yeah. We would see. Okay, so we go to some other match. We go to Azerbaijan Netherlands.
Okay.
Mamedov Giri.
Okay, let's see Mamedov Giri.
E4, C5, knight F3, E6. Paulsen variation is known to be a weapon to play for a win.
Yeah.
So and D3. Mamedov is in his style, I think.
Yeah.
He has his own vision, you know, of what quite a narrow opening repertoire, but he knows it very well.
Very well, yes.
Yeah. And he's a King's Indian player, right, for black.
Exactly.
So for him, this is no news to play a position like this. It's very, very good King's Indian, right?
Yes.
Not only a tempo up, but E6 was already played, so so for a King's Indian player, it's not a problem at all. Rook E1, D6, C4.
This is interesting.
C4. Okay.
Is it possible to play D5 now?
That's his idea, I guess. Probably. If black plays D5.
Probably takes E5 or maybe
no, I think E5 right away. He
E5 right away without
to play
taking.
E5 right away. And this C4, E5 extremely unpleasant. It takes over all the squares, and actually C4 is preventing B5, I think. That's one of the ideas. Just because knight C3 doesn't look that good, but with C4, knight goes to C3.
The only handicap is
the
d4
d4 square, of course.
Of course, but
Actually,
but
black
the
tries
bishop
to use it right away. Knight g4.
He played knight g4.
And exchanging that knight.
So he was not
A3.
surprised. Probably he played it fast.
Yeah, I think Giri is surprised with this choice. Well, he already spent like 20 minutes, so that's quite a lot, or 9 moves, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so a3.
Probably he thought
Giri
a long time for this after c4 what to play.
Yeah, this knight g4, knight e5, not on orthodox maneuver, right? So I guess black has to take now on f3.
He came up with the idea of exchanging the knight on f3.
Yeah, he
gets the square d4.
He gets the square.
Yeah, actually it's not such a bad idea.
And now maybe black has
b6, bishop b7 maybe.
Yeah, but now the problem is if you go like this, what do you do next? What is your f5? What is your plan? How do you proceed? You know, I can play on the queen side, I can play on the king side.
b7, maybe bishop f6. I don't know, maybe you're right.
So that's a very common pawn structure. White gives away only one square, but gets the space on the queen side, on the king side, and tries to do
but
something
also
about
for white not so easy to make some progress, yes?
Yeah, because b takes c5, always d takes c5, I guess. So maybe white would have to push b5 himself. I don't know.
You're right, maybe then we play a4, a5.
Yeah, but I think black just has to take on f3, otherwise why did he bring the knight to e5?
He's thinking now?
He's thinking, yeah. He's thinking.
Yeah, okay, probably.
Okay, he's trying to get deeper into the position than just I take and attack, right? He already wants to come up with what to do in next 5-10 moves.
Exactly.
And then he may play much quicker. That's what you're actually supposed to do after the opening.
Yes,
fresh
otherwise
position.
you will just play without any plan.
Without any plan, and usually that leads
you are exchanging
nowhere.
pieces, what will I do after knight d4?
Yeah.
You have a good square, but
what's next? He is thinking what's next now.
Exactly.
So yeah. So let's leave him thinking. Go to board number 2, Van Velle, Safarli.
This looks like a Grunfeld.
Yes, it is. Knight f3, bishop g7. Actually, nowadays it's quite common to play h4 here.
Yes, exactly.
h4, h5.
Very popular and very sharp variation.
Well, yeah.
Very sharp indeed.
But this is not the way Luke plays. Takes, bishop g5. I am by no means expert in Grunfeld defense, but bishop g5, I never seen a move like that. Bishop g5 is a move here, right?
Yeah, but in that position.
So just for the statistics, e4 was played 6,700 times. That's the most popular.
Played,
and bishop g5 was played 143 times. So like
really something
50 times more, 40 times
probably
more.
Also an old move, no?
Let me check.
Was
with
the last
bishop
time it
g5.
was played? Maybe there is a new game.
Yeah, there were games played in 2013. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, on Grandmaster level even. Richago played.
Oh, maybe if Richago played, then
Candelius
it became popular
played,
again.
Yeah,
so it's started to.
All right, bishop g5, h6. h6, quite a rare response actually. Bishop h4, c5. Makes sense. Rook c1.
The threat is c takes d4, knight takes d5, because of c8 is hanging.
Yeah, but what about c takes d5?
He cannot
yeah, you just said, yeah, sorry. Oh, interesting. Trap.
But knight c6? And d takes c5, maybe. Maybe that's why he's protecting the knight on c3. He's planning to take on c5. He took on c3.
Well, he's just preventing c takes d4.
Yes,
for
exactly.
Sure. So, yeah. But what about if black would castle, then e7 pawn is hanging? Oh, that's the idea, actually. Yeah. That's the idea.
e7 and then takes on c5. Two pawns.
Yeah. So knight takes, b takes, castle, e3. White gets a solid center.
Looks like some transposition.
Yeah,
but bishop G5
it
variation.
seems similar,
Yes,
but
but not exactly.
Not exactly. Actually, if I were White, I would be a little bit happy with this choice, because usually in Grunfeld you can rarely get a not known theoretical position where your opponent doesn't know 10 moves ahead.
Yeah.
And this is way to go, you know.
Yeah.
Who is better
took
player?
on
That one would win.
D4.
C takes D4. Of course, C takes D would follow.
CD,
And we have a
then
novelty.
Probably bishop
C
D5.
takes D4 is a novelty.
It's a novelty.
Yeah, yeah. It has never been played, according at least to online database. Bishop D5 was played twice. Actually, on Grandmaster level, Nikolenko played and Bobras played. Nikolenko played G5, Bobras played Bishop D5. So C takes D4 was never played.
Interesting.
Of course, C takes D would follow, or E takes D doesn't make that much sense, I think. Then rook on C1, square on C4. Okay, E takes D4 also an option, but it's not Grunfeld. It would transpose to completely different pawn structure. But maybe that's what White wants.
Yes.
You know, to that would be a
C
Sicilian.
takes D4,
Yes, that would be a Sicilian pawn structure with C3 line. So C takes D4 and Saffarli thinking. Okay, so we go to the fifth match of today.
Let's see the fifth match.
And then maybe
We can go back to Nakamura Kramnik games.
okay. Okay. Armenia is playing Egypt. Movsesyan Sergei is black. Okay, King's Indian. Knight BD7, Castle E5. Azat Mohammed 2454.
The first port is Movsesyan playing.
Yeah, they let Aronian to
Aronian
rest.
is
Yeah, after
getting some
yesterday
rest, yeah.
tough game.
Also, they are clear favorites, so
Yeah. Yeah.
They
So they
don't
just need to
see-
win the match. The result is not that important.
yes.
Queen
probably.
C2. Queen C2. Interesting. Never seen. Okay, quite a common move as it turns out. Rook D1, Queen E7, D takes E, D takes E. White is trying to keep it solid. A4.
B3, A4. This is
B3 makes
interesting.
sense.
He wants to play bishop A3.
Yeah, just to prove that Queen on E7 does
Interesting
not
idea.
belong. Yeah. A4, A5, Bishop A3, and Knight C5.
And this is also typical.
Oh, this is actually still a theoretical position, but it has not been played on Grandmaster level.
Yeah.
So I guess both are just playing. They are out of the theory for sure.
Yeah.
So
Probably
what
next
to
few
do?
games bishop F8, Queen C7, and then trying to put the knight on E6
But
and
what
D4.
about knight E1?
Knight E1.
Yeah, but you
The
will
idea
always
is
have.
knight D3.
Yeah, just I want to win that piece, but I guess
But
you will
I
always
can
have
knight
knight
FD7, yes.
and
And then
may-
bishop F8, but still.
Okay, 1 second. Maybe I push B4 here. What do you say? I try this move.
What is your idea after taking?
Takes. I want to play A5, grab more space. Maybe go
Knight
to
A4.
B6. Yeah.
It's interesting. Let's say knight D7.
Knight D7. A5.
Queen somewhere. Queen
No good square.
F6 maybe.
Maybe leaving the square for the knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 91 was already played.
Knight E1.
Yes, I like B4 actually better. A little bit, I don't know. Okay, I think it's just a standard King's Indian play, but
Black has some problems.
yeah, but
to
White
solve-
also
to
has
solve.
some problems.
Yes,
Take
this
a look,
B4
so
square.
many holes.
Yeah,
B4,
D4,
D4 square. If
But
Black
also-
manages to keep his pieces,
Yeah.
just transfer the knights to E6 maybe and D4, White would be in big trouble.
Yes, probably Black will play knight bishop E6 or knight D7. No, but
Or bishop
knight
F8.
D7, and after knight D3, the threat is rook takes D7. Yes.
No, but the
Afterwards.
knight is on D3.
No, I mean Ah, yes, we are blocking the rook. So it's not possible. So there is no threat on this knight d3.
I guess he would play something like this: bishop f8,
knight d3,
knight c3, and knight d7.
Yes, now the queen.
Queen can go even to h4.
Actually, I want to go to on c7, but it's not possible.
Yeah, I would also want knight queen c7, knight d6.
Yes.
Yeah, now maybe some counterplay like this.
D4,
takes. Now queen.
Somewhere, yes.
And yeah, black is for sure okay. All his pieces are playing. Rook on a8 is working. All pieces, where's the knight e6 is coming. Yeah, I already prefer black actually.
You like
I like black's position already.
Knight e1, knight d3. Knight is ft7, knight d3, and then bishop f8, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And then what to play?
I don't see what else, since just b4 seems like the only reasonable idea here, b4 and a5.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe bishop g4. Is it possible? Knight d3.
No, but
what do you play now?
Why do you want to exchange my bishop?
Bishop g4. No, I mean not now. Knight. You play bishop f8 now.
Oh, you mean bishop f8? Yes.
Knight d3. Knight ft7.
Okay. I mean for white, bishop g4.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Bishop g4. This is now
bishop g4.
Interesting, because this bet bishop. I have a bet bishop on e2. I want to exchange with on d7. Probably I want to exchange everything and then draw. Huh?
I don't think white would want the more. 250 elo point difference. So bishop g4. So assume queen h4. You take on d7, right? I take, you take, and I take.
So what is this position? Let's see.
This knight on c3 is completely useless in this sort of position. That's why I wanted to go b4, a5, knight a4. You know, because this knight on c3 has no prospects. Where can it go?
For example, f3, then knight e6, knight e2 maybe.
No, knight e6, the pawn is hanging, isn't it?
f3,
on e5.
e6, yes, or can take on e5. So maybe f3.
So maybe I go queen g5 here instead.
Maybe yes, queen g5 looks
queen
better.
G5. Takes. Maybe you don't take.
Yeah.
Helping my knight. Maybe b4.
b4, or even maybe c5. No? c5.
And then this knight b1, d2, c4.
Maybe.
But I don't think without white squared bishop. I don't know, I think I can even do this.
f5.
And then f4. Just try to attack you. No, c5, I don't
c5
know.
maybe, right. Not such a good idea, because this bishop on e3 is doing nothing.
Yeah, I think maybe this way. Takes and takes. Yeah. So we would leave
this game,
here.
Let's go to the second game of Egypt.
Akopian shocker. Is Shocker gonna shock us again?
Big
what
surprise of yesterday.
Yeah, he won with black against Naidic, and now he's black.
Shock. It's probably Akopian will be very careful today. Otherwise, he will get shot.
Yeah,
he has this danger, you know.
Okay, so Beard's defense. b5, okay, bishop d3, knight bd7, knight f3, e5.
This is typical, yes?
Yeah, but I remember that queen c7 should be a better move. I don't like, I played this myself.
Because of
here,
d5?
I hear queen c7 I liked more. I played this for black when I was much younger. And the reason why I didn't like e5 was that at some point white's gonna exchange that center and then play a4.
Yes.
For example, I don't remember exactly the move order. Let's say, I don't know, castle, bishop g7, and then a4 at some point. b4, knight e2. And then, well, I remember I didn't like this one. Then the knight might come to c4. I didn't like this position. Maybe not this exact position, but I remembered that For myself, I decided that when this happens, actually now e5 is a big threat. For myself, I decided to go queen c7 in this sort of positions, castle, bishop g7, and I don't play e5, at least for now.
But if you play queen c7 now, maybe d5 is possible, no?
No, d5 I'll always have even a6. And that would be not a bad Sicilian for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so the main problem is e5 here, and I just prevent it and castle bishop g7, and I consider this position to be okay for black. So I don't play e5 for the moment, because maybe I'm gonna play, for example, if you play some, I don't know, standard moves like h3, I castle, and you, let's say, play rook f e1, then I will have an option of playing a6 and maybe c5. You know, transposing to Sicilian. So
white doesn't play a4, a4, b4, knight
I
e2.
Just
knight e2, then knight g3.
That would be good. Yeah, but generally I leave myself an option of playing c5 instead of e5, keeping the bishop active.
You want to play c5?
Yeah, maybe at some point. So for myself, I decided to play queen c7 because I think I got a bad loss.
But the more I look, the more I don't see anything wrong with this e5.
With e5, yeah. Actually, I don't remember exactly what I didn't like, but
can you check it with the games search?
Yeah, there are.
If it has been played.
Yeah, many games.
Many games.
Many games. Yeah, this is a known position.
So it's a normal position.
Okay, 1 second. Maybe I'll find my own game because it was
your own game. Yeah.
Maybe it was so long ago I don't remember. No, there was none. Okay, maybe a different move order. So maybe Akopan will show us what's the problem with this line. Castle, bishop b7.
He played bishop b7.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's not a novelty, but bishop b7 was played.
He is delaying bishop g7. It's also interesting.
Yeah, wonder why.
What
didn't actually bishop b7 is by far the main move.
The main move.
97 games played, yeah, and 30 games played with bishop g7. Okay, bishop b7, a4.
Normal move, eh?
Yes, e takes d. Why did he give away the center?
It has been played?
Yeah, this was played. E takes d was played. E takes d was played. Bishop takes.
Bishop
b4.
takes.
I wonder, is it... No, wait a minute, I'm looking. I think we have a novelty. E takes d, 4 is a novelty. But I guess it was played over the board. Yeah. It's not a home preparation, I feel. Bishop d4, b4, knight moves, c5. Forcing bishop takes, queen takes, and now c3.
So white has given his black squared bishop.
Yeah.
And
okay, but now
but there is a
if black plays bishop g7 castle, black would be even better, I would say.
But there is a problem with the bishop b5. Yes.
Bishop b5
what to
one
do
problem.
Against bishop
and
b5. And also
second problem, b4 pawn is hanging.
b4 pawn is hanging. Where to do? I mean, no, if he takes.
So for example, a5 just would be
yes.
just a bad move because of bishop b5.
Yes.
And I don't see how black can castle in the nearest future. So a5 is definitely a bad move. But
maybe he can sacrifice a pawn, no?
If black takes...
Bishop g7. Let's see, bishop g7.
Bishop g7.
If you
Bishop
take, now I castle.
Okay, but maybe I do this.
Yes, that's what I was afraid of. Bishop b5.
So, but let's check. C takes b4. What do you use? You
castle, yes.
Castle.
And this is my idea. Because I have this diagonal now. I can attack on e4. 2 bishops.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Maybe some compensation.
Definitely.
But as you said, bishop b5 looks dangerous.
Bishop b5 looks much more dangerous. And now actually e5 is a huge threat. Just
yes.
e5 next move.
Can he castle long? I was wondering.
But now
now c takes b4.
Queen takes b2.
Queen takes b2.
Takes here.
Rook takes, queen takes d6. Looks very bad.
Looks
actually.
very bad, yeah.
But it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not an option. So maybe he has to be careful with this bishop b5. What about after c3, bishop g7, bishop b5, rook d8? Is it possible?
Bishop g7, bishop b5,
Rook d8. Is it possible? Now if you take on b4, I castle again. But it looks worse, probably because of bishop takes d7, rook takes d7, and b takes c5.
But then the e4 pawn
You
is
take on
hanging.
b4?
See,
Yes,
no,
let's see this variation.
let's see, castle,
Castle,
take here, yeah.
yes, takes,
Takes.
takes,
Takes,
and then you take on b4,
no,
e4.
take here.
Knight g5, is it possible? Knight
I just
g5,
come back.
you come
No,
back.
two bishops are very strong here.
Two bishops, yes, it compensates.
Only one
Maybe
pawn.
knight c3 now, but still two bishops.
No,
Knight c3,
I don't know.
well, I don't know.
I did,
Maybe
just,
nothing,
just
yeah.
even like this. No,
You
I
like
think
this
I like
black's
black.
position.
Yeah.
huh?
But here I would consider just maybe rook d1.
Rook d1.
I want the d6
You want to
pawn.
take on d6?
Yeah.
But if he takes on e4 again,
You mean here or after
Here, yes.
castling? Here.
you take on d6.
I have some intermediate moves, knight g5,
Knight g5.
maybe knight g5. Bishop
Very
moves.
complicated position.
Very
actually.
complicated, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why he's thinking now. He can go
Yeah,
bishop
actually
g7.
Very difficult to.
And he needs to calculate not only bishop b5, but also c takes b5. Also here, e5 is also a decent option, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
D takes e, and now just some, you cannot,
Very-
you can castle. That's a problem, maybe. You can castle on next move. And
I
then,
can.
And then just bishop
Bishop
c6.
c6.
Yeah. Oh, but then, yeah. So maybe it doesn't work. But he definitely has to calculate all of this.
Exactly.
So that's why he's thinking.
Yes.
That's why he's thinking.
He is thinking what to
Okay.
play. Also,
Yeah.
there's an idea to take on c3 and knight takes c3.
Yeah, just
and
just
a6.
takes
Simple
knight takes
move.
a6. But it seems to be very long, doesn't it?
Looks long, yes, but can white have something immediate in this
Okay,
position?
let me try this first.
Yeah, bishop.
Maybe
G7.
bishop e7. Just
Why not bishop g7?
a d6 pawn. I can just attack it, can't I?
Yeah, but still I will sacrifice.
No, that's different.
Knight
to bishop
b6?
Knight b6.
I don't know, maybe
right
not,
away, knight b6.
maybe not such a good idea.
I don't know. Takes.
Yeah, takes maybe bishop e5.
Maybe this move
Knight
works.
e5.
Oh, bishop g7 was played. Bishop
G7,
g7 was
that's what
played.
we were thinking, yes. Now
Yeah.
bishop b5, I think,
Bishop
will be
b5
the
should
move.
be.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, I think
maybe
black
b
would have.
takes c takes b4, I don't know.
Maybe also white can aim for a small advantage like this. I want a pawn and I want to try to
Keep it.
realize it. But
I don't think Akopyan
I
style.
also don't think so. Yeah, yeah. And the compensation is quite obvious
Yeah,
here.
very
I
easy
don't
game
know.
for black. Two
Takes
bishops.
rook b8 option, d5 is an option. Even
and look at the white's pieces.
yeah.
They don't look very good.
Yeah,
You know,
so
they
I
just,
think he would-
F3.
I think he would strongly consider this move.
Yeah.
And now rook d8. And now I would just consider rook d1, I guess.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad for black.
Is
Next
e5 an option here? E5.
e5, d takes
Takes
e,
e5.
and next move is castle anyway. That's the problem.
So that's the problem. Yeah.
That's the problem. If it would prevent castle, that would be good, but it would appear not.
How can you castle if I play rook d1?
d1 castle,
I cannot take.
take. The
Yes,
bishop's-
yes, I saw.
The
it,
bishop is
yeah.
protected. That's the
Bishop
problem.
c, but this is I was thinking. Yeah, no, nothing.
So maybe
This bishop is not unprinted, so you can take back on with the queen. So bishop takes c6.
Doesn't work.
Not 3 pieces, so it doesn't work.
So maybe e5, maybe rook d1 instead of e5. Try to get something here. But these are indeed the variations to calculate knight g5, what we considered. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm pretty sure Akopan will find the best way.
Yeah, but it's very complicated position indeed.
But I think white should be better.
After bishop b5, yes, probably.
Just black has to waste time on rook d8, hanging pawns. But you know, maybe black can always get away with giving one of the pawns and getting 2 bishops.
That's what I was thinking. Otherwise, this will be in the end bad for black. But if you sacrifice 1 pawn, he may have some compensation.
With the bishop on g7,
with 2 bishops, yes. And they attack on e4.
Yeah, the e4 is hanging.
Yeah.
So I think Akopan. So maybe he would actually go for this one.
Yeah.
Oh no, bishop b5 was already. He plays so quickly.
He played bishop b5.
So what does he? Does he want to play against rook d8?
Did he play rook d8?
No, not yet. But it seems like a very reasonable option.
Maybe the only option.
Yeah, maybe. Rook d8. Well, let's say rook d1. Let's continue the line. So, for example, castle. I win a pawn. Right?
Yes.
And a pawn and.
But you win a pawn. But what about?
No, now bishop d7 is a threat.
Yes, now that's what I was looking at, bishop d7.
But if you move the knight, I can win another pawn.
What about knight e5?
Queen takes. Well, even this is good. Just a healthy extra pawn.
Healthy extra pawn, yeah.
Yeah, and that bishop on b7 is not working. Some compensation, but
not
with
so
this
much.
d4, d5 square, not enough for sure.
You're right.
So maybe rook d1, so maybe bishop e4 is better. And now, for example, queen
but
d6.
This looks also very dangerous.
Yes, it does.
Knight
But
g5, queen d6.
Knight g5, move, let's say, back.
Also, maybe rook e1 also is possible, no?
Instead of knight g5?
But not.
No, I just
e1,
castle.
castles, yes.
Just
you
castle. So
yeah.
there's no, for example, queen d6, I don't think it works. I think takes, and king e7.
Yes.
And if doubling rooks, I can.
Okay,
I could
but
have taken.
king e7, you can play maybe rook a6.
Okay, I can.
This is also
let's
interesting.
Say take,
king
and now rook
e6.
a6.
Yes, this is still not so easy to play. Because rook e1 is coming.
Maybe queen. Oh, so, but I don't. Okay, maybe I gave away the bishop too quickly.
Yes.
King e7, and now rook a6. Now rook a6. Yeah, maybe. Also unpleasant.
This is also not so easy to
just
play.
win a pawn and continue the attack. Yeah, so bishop b5 leads to strong initiative for white.
But maybe in this position, queen e7, is it possible? Queen e7? I was thinking of queen e7.
But what about d6 pawn? It's still hanging.
Well, he will just, sacrifice this pawn. I think after castling.
But also,
also
b2 pawn is not hanging. I can keep on winning pawns. That's the problem. No, rook d8 seems much more natural.
I have to take it back on b4. Probably.
Even this. And then knight c3 or g3.
Yes,
it's quite not enough. Really looks not. Yeah. No, rook d8 seems like the way to go, but then rook d1 and black's in trouble, I guess. Okay, so let's see Nakamura Kramnik, right?
Let's see this game, and then
maybe for a break.
We can have a break for a few minutes.
Okay, so Nimcovich defense, queen c3.
They didn't make many moves.
No, queen c3.
He played queen c3 on that position?
200 games, queen a4, 100 games, queen c2, 6 games, queen c3. That's not
very rare variation.
Very rare variation, yeah.
Because of knight a4, knight e4 probably.
No, but knight e4, bishop.
Not e4, is it possible?
Bishop takes, I guess.
Knight takes c3, bishop takes c7, just losing one pawn.
Yeah, this doesn't work. So my guess is the idea of queen c3 is that in similar variations, for example, let's say queen c2, and even c5 is an option, and there's always a check queen a5, for example. c5 takes, just approximately. And queen a5, always you have to deal with it. But with queen c3,
it's the queen on c3, you don't have this option.
So it makes sense.
Also, he attacks on f6, double,
Yeah, after c5.
Double attack on f6.
Yeah, actually makes a lot of sense, queen c3.
It's interesting.
So I guess that's Nakamura's preparation.
What is the time?
h6, for now we cannot
59
see
minutes.
For Kramnik, 59, yeah.
Queen c3, how did he go?
h6, bishop takes.
Oh, bishop takes f6. Why?
Why not bishop h4?
Yes, why not bishop h4? Maybe planning g5. Is he afraid of g5?
Oh yeah, actually Mayorov played this line for white.
Maybe that was the reason why he took on f6.
g5, bishop g3, knight e4, and queen d5, stuff like that.
Maybe that was the reason
Maybe
why
that's the reason.
Black didn't play queen c3.
Yes.
Because on h6 he has to take on f6.
Yeah. So it seems that bishop takes is necessary, queen takes.
And now?
And now g3 was played. G3. Why not queen c7, just to avoid...
very dangerous.
Queen c7. Rook c8, I guess, and
rook
c2.
Yes.
Yeah, just
looks very dangerous.
Very dangerous, all right. g3, bishop b7, bishop g2. Okay, white solved his main problem, castling the king. And I think white, if black really c5, seems actually, if not necessary right now, at least in the nearest future, because, well, first of all, knight on a6 misplaced, and white has space advantage and stuff. c5, rook c1, rook c8, and knight e5.
What do you think? Bishop takes g2?
Well, I think Kramnik's considering queen e7 also.
Yes.
To queen on f6 is not doing much. He wants to transfer it somehow.
There is some kind of problem.
Because after bishop takes g2, king knight d7 is a threat, and you have to deal with it anyway. Yes. I think white has slight but lasting edge.
Yes, because of this
because of the knight on a6 misplaced.
And also white has maybe some ideas of putting the knight on c6.
Yes.
Afterwards.
These positions are, when you turn on the computer, it says very slight edge for white usually, but it's not easy to play for black. You know, for example, let's assume bishop takes, king takes, and rook d8. Seems normal, right?
Yeah, sure.
And now I can go b4, for example.
b4.
For example, just my first.
You want to give up
b5, knight c. Yeah, you mean c takes d, or
yeah, c takes d or b.
Takes.
f4.
Dominating. Knight on a6, very bad.
Yes, this is a strong move. f4.
For example, queen e7,
maybe
rook c1.
somewhere, but still.
Rooks are much stronger than queen here. Open files, weaknesses and stuff.
I agree.
So that's why I guess Kramnik is thinking, because this could be unpleasant. This usual common idea with the knight on a6 to cut it off.
But on that line, maybe he can take on not d4 but on b4. What about this one? Let's see.
takes.
Because
Takes,
on that
takes.
line he has this pawn on b4.
But
you
now my
have to
knight is not
decide.
hanging.
Your knight is not hanging, but what are you going to do with the b pawn? If you are going to take it, then my knight will be back on the game. And if you don't take it, I will have a strong passed pawn on b4.
Oh, I just take it. If you take it, I go rook c7. And the pawn's falling, and then the king.
Then the king side is really.
And the rook's another rook coming, and that's it.
Yes, you're right. So this is not a.
So I think Kramnik would strongly considering to go queen e7.
Yes, you're
First
right.
of all, b4 is no longer an option.
You're right.
Also, he has c takes d4 at his disposal, by the way.
Now.
C takes d4 is an option.
Oh yes, also c takes d4
Queen
first,
takes.
and then takes on.
Let's say takes,
and then play maybe knight c5. Not possible.
c5.
B4
knight b3.
and knight f8.
No, before knight b3.
Oh, also the knight b3 is a threat.
Oh no, knight b3. Rook takes c8. And if you
c8.
take, I take here, and you don't have this because
And then check.
because of this. And if you go here, that just can't be good. Just even like this.
Yeah.
So knight b3 takes, you have to take, but now I can do this, and your knight might be in trouble. Maybe
Knight
it's still
B2,
maybe it's still a draw, you know. Like
you're right.
this, and now like this.
Or e4, maybe knight e4.
Oh yeah, maybe e4. Well, knight e4, I always have f4 or f3. Just f3. Where do you go?
f3, and then where to go?
Where do you go?
Knight c3.
Oh, knight c3. I missed it. Oh, knight c3. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's maybe this. So c takes d. I'm still not convinced actually. Takes knight c. b4 is not necessary. I can go. Let's say f4. And I want to go b4 in the future and get the c6 square.
Well, rook fd8.
Rook fd8. Let's say queen e3. It seems very equal, but somehow white is still pushing. b4 knight c6 is my threat.
What about, for example, queen f5? Let's see, queen f5. I have the idea of checking on e4 and exchanging the queens.
Okay.
Maybe
check. Oh no.
On e4.
Queen e4, king f2.
Okay.
Takes, right?
Yes, I have to.
And my king is in the center, knight's
and
coming to
where
c6.
the knight is going, you are asking me.
Black's in trouble.
Black's in trouble. Knight a4 is not such a, I mean, are you sure? Knight c6. Yes, knight c6.
And I win, knight e7.
You're right, knight e7. This is not right.
That's the problem, you know, even though symmetrical position and everything, but white's knight has an outpost excellent and possible outpost on c6, and black's knight always have to run away.
You're right, actually this f4 move is very strong.
Just f4. Maybe you go queen e7, queen b7.
f4 and knight c6 idea.
Maybe queen e7.
But, oh yes, maybe you have this.
But even with this, let's assume I could have moved my queen somewhere.
Check.
But let's assume I go here. I still gonna go b5 on next move in the worst case.
But now I have knight b3.
Oh, now knight b3 works. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. So I have to do this. And if you give a check, I offer an exchange. I guess you take. I take. Still white is better.
Knight b3 again. Are you sure better? No, not the same.
Takes.
Maybe this time maybe he equalized.
f6.
Because he has some
F6.
chances. Yes, f6 and
f6 very quickly.
f6 and then rook c2 maybe.
Yeah. You equal here equalizing. Okay, so maybe that's what he's thinking about. Takes, and knight c5. Maybe not f4, maybe queen e3.
Queen e3.
Maybe I don't need f4 if you're gonna move your queen away.
Yes. Because it's a good move, because now you threaten b4.
Yeah, now I want to go b4 and knight d7. And if you go queen e7, I get an extra tempo. f4 is not already necessary.
Can I play queen f5?
You want to go knight e4 or... Okay, go b4.
I will check.
Queen e4 check?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have queen f3, that's the difference, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, takes.
Knight c6. But now I have knight rook c7. Is it so dangerous now?
But you don't have rook c8 because I will have
I
knight
don't
e7.
have, but still.
I just go rook d1, next move f3. White is better. Not much, but this knight is very just... The problem is this knight on e4.
Yeah.
You put it on d5, I would push it back. You have no outpost, you will always run away. And my knight has several good spots. So black has to be quite... It seems very easy, but black has to be very...
Yes, knight c6.
Very, very precise.
Always...
Oh, actually, this is what happens. C takes d, bishop takes, and king takes. This is the position on the board.
This is our analysis, yes.
And this is the position on the board
which
right
is
now.
On the board. Now queen e3, we are assuming.
Knight c5 first, it's black to
Knight
move
c5
first.
for black, and then queen e3 looks good for white.
Yeah. Well, maybe I guess Nakamura will get deeper into the position, but these are the ideas, you know, just to push b4, get into c6 square.
Yes.
And get any end game with queens, without queens doesn't matter.
So we can conclude as saying that white
that Nakamura is pushing.
Edge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless we miss some forced, you know, exchanges,
now
everything.
I see Kramnik thinking, it's not such an easy game for him.
Yeah.
He's thinking deeply.
I think he will find a way to equalize, but it's not on the surface, right? You just cannot, oh, this looks like a good move. If you make looks like good move, a few moves, you'll get in trouble. So that's why he's deeply thinking right now.
Okay, Mihail.
Okay,
Let's
I
give
think
a break.
we're going to go for a break.
A few minutes break. See you soon.
See you soon.
Hello, we are back again. Mihail, we were just in the hall, playing hall.
Yes, we were
watching the players, especially Nakamura against Kramnik.
Yeah.
He was intending to play b4.
And actually now he just did.
His hand was going to play b4 all the time. Then he was keeping it and checking it one more time. But in the end, I think he played b4.
He played b4, yeah. That
which
is what happened.
We were thinking that not as good as queen
prophylactic
e3.
Move,
but
my guess is he got into the position much deeper.
Probably.
So maybe he just calculate all those complications.
Yes. What are we planning in this position?
I think we were planning knight b3. Yes.
Rook takes c8.
Rook takes c8 the only move.
Yes, and then rook takes c8. Otherwise, rook takes rook, and then there is a fork on.
And now where
d7.
to go with this queen?
The queen cannot go to e3 again.
We considered briefly queen b2, but then knight d2.
Yes. What about queen e3?
Queen e3 looks
now
better.
I'm thinking, but still knight d2.
Knight. There is a trick, knight d2, rook d1, and there is no knight c4. Take a look.
And then check.
Oh, there is no check.
There is no check.
There is no check.
But there is rook d7 maybe.
Rook d7.
This can be also annoying.
But what about rook c3?
Queen e4.
e4 takes.
Well, I don't. Maybe not queen e4.
There's still f7 pawn, queen a8, queen e8. I'm calculating this.
Are you sure? Because king g6.
And now king g6. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
is
not
the problem.
such a yes.
It's not working that well. So Nakamura played b4. I wonder what he's got prepared. I guess queen f3. There's also queen d7 move. Maybe queen d7 actually, followed by knight c6.
First queen d7.
Maybe queen d7. What do you say?
I
If
don't know.
rook d8, then maybe queen c7.
Are you planning to? Where are you planning to play your knight?
c6,
Ah,
if you let me.
C6.
But you have back rank problems, so...
Yes. I cannot go to c2 because check, but I have queen f5. Maybe I can play queen rook c2.
Rook
no?
c2, but there's f7 pawn is hanging.
f7 is hanging. Yes. Am I being
Still not the end of the
mated?
world. Rook e2.
Yes, it's really getting complicated. But I don't believe this is working for white.
Yeah, maybe
Because
it's
this
not working.
rook is very strong, and then knight d4.
So,
knight
okay,
d2
rook
is
c2.
coming.
Rook c2. But I have some double attacks. Like takes, and if you take queen... rook b2. I missed rook b2, and queen f6, alright, doesn't work. So what is Nakamura's idea here? He definitely has one.
Queen d7, I don't like
Maybe
it too
not
much.
queen d7, yeah.
Let's
But
go back if you
still,
want to.
I want to try it a little bit more. I want still to give you a checkmate with knight e7
Really?
and queen e8 and queen g8,
This
stuff
is
like
also
that.
an
yeah.
idea.
So for
To
example, if you,
checkmate on the
for
g8.
example, if you take,
Check and knight e7.
I go knight e7, you go king. Oh, okay, you just
Maybe
lose.
first
You-
check.
No, you just lose. Just here, queen d3 wins,
Ah, yes, here queen
and
d3
king
wins.
h8 is just a checkmate.
Yes.
It's just a checkmate. Queen g8, of course. So rook e2 doesn't work, but knight e7 is a huge threat, don't you think?
Yes, you're right. Maybe g6.
Maybe some prophylactic move.
Oh, g6, but the
But
same
still
thing.
G8 square
G8
is-
square still mated.
And the a7 pawn is always
Maybe
hanging.
G5
These
is
pieces
not- You're right, actually.
miscoordinated.
This is not. I mean, this
Queen
rook
and the
C2,
knight.
rook
Queen and the
C2,
knight.
yes.
Excellent
excellent
couple.
combination. Yes.
Combination, yeah. So, we missed queen d7 maybe. So maybe that's Nakamura's idea. That's why he
What
actually
about rook d8?
he thought for this move for 14 minutes.
What
I
about
think.
rook d8? Queen d7, rook
You
d8.
mean here? Ah, no. Takes
Knight
takes.
b3, queen d7, rook d8.
Rook d8. I was planning just to do this, and now knight
This.
f7 is threatening.
Knight d7 is a threat.
Knight f7 or knight c6. Both are highly
Knight c6. Knight
just
d6.
dominating. Queen and knight are dominating right here, don't you think?
Yes,
Oh,
you're right.
actually, the main threat is knight g4.
Yes, now
Knight
I have to
G4.
move my rook. Maybe rook somewhere.
Maybe now you go to d2.
Now d2, yes. Let's see.
Maybe now rook d2.
But
At
now,
least there are
but-
no-
But now
Now
you
knight
have
d7.
maybe you have knight d7, yeah.
Knight d7, queen e7,
Check.
queen c8, king h7,
Knight f8.
knight f8, and knight g6.
Knight g6.
Oh, queen d8. It's not over.
Queen d8. Ah, yes.
It's not over
Or maybe
yet.
knight e6.
Oh, knight
check.
takes e6.
Knight takes
yeah.
e6.
Yeah, knight takes e6. At least winning
At
the
least.
pawn. So that's the problem. That's why Nakamura thought for 14 minutes before playing
Yes.
b4. You know, queen e3 is Karpov style move, right?
Yeah.
Preventing everything. Knight b3, rook
But
d8.
maybe now we can play after b4,
Mhm.
rook fd8. Let's check this
Rook
variation.
fd8.
But now
And now queen
e3.
e3.
Yes,
Just
now queen e3.
queen e3.
This is what actually we were thinking of.
And knight has to go to some ugly
A4
square.
probably, A4, but now knight c6,
Knight c6 is coming.
and then
Rook,
what to play?
just winning at least a pawn. You should go use the 8th rank because knight e7.
You're right.
You cannot do this, right?
You're right.
So you have to go here,
And
and
then-
I just even a pawn.
Yes.
So this is very bad.
So what to play?
So knight b3 was played, and rook takes c8.
Was
This
played?
is the position on the board.
Ah, this is the
yeah?
position on the board.
I don't like Kramnik's position. You know, okay, knight d4 is probably just losing, right? King h7 and f4. I don't think we are missing anything here. Unless the queen can get in somehow.
What
Very
about queen
quickly.
f5?
Queen f5.
This is also interesting.
But I can always do this and do this, and do this.
But is it good?
Oh,
Queen
yeah.
e4 again?
And just start eating pawns.
Because I can make some drawing chances. Take an e2 check.
Or maybe you have a perpetual.
Perpetual, yes. Where to go now?
Oh, maybe you have a perpetual. Okay, that might be the idea. Okay, so this is forced. This is the forced position. Knight is hanging. Maybe I just go back knight f3. Oh no, that's too passive, right? You will take my pawn on e2.
Yes, I can take on.
Because if I can make my king safe and activate my rook, that's
okay.
it.
Yes.
That's it. So, but what can I do? Maybe I can go knight xf7. Doesn't look that pretty, but maybe it works.
Knight f7.
I don't know what I want. I have rook h8, king g6, and that knight. Maybe I want just some. Maybe now I want f4, with the idea rook h8, knight e5.
If I play queen e7.
If you play queen e7, I always have this trick with the tempo, and I think I'm winning just.
Yes, the king is very bad placed.
So let's just check the first line. We rejected f4 because of this, right?
Yes.
And it's this rook and knight are quite strong. Maybe it's still not that bad, but there are some chances for perpetual. But maybe without moving that f pawn, which is quite helpful.
Knight takes f7.
Knight takes f7. For example, if you
I don't see anything else but take on e2.
take on e2, but now maybe I go f4, and now I'm threatening rook h8 and knight e5, and your king has to go someplace not safe.
You're right. And also knight g5.
Oh yes, knight g5 is the main threat, of course. Yeah, that's very bad for black, isn't it? Unless queen can
he
come
do
to
something immediately with the queen?
d4 maybe.
Queen d4.
Let's say queen d4. Just
Yes.
try to get to rook h8,
Check.
knight e5.
Again check.
Where do you
to
go? h5?
5.
No, that's just
G4 and
no, that's just
and then losing.
yeah. But even if no g4, that just can't be right. So maybe you should. Oh, queen d4 just is under a lot of forks. So maybe queen c3. But still, this looks like winning actually. What do you do? King h5. I don't know. I will always have g4, rook f3.
It doesn't look promising for black.
Very bad. Looks very bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think, unless
This
Kramnik
looks
calculates
like losing,
everything.
yes.
So
he has to take with
I
back
think
with
he
the
has to take.
Yeah.
And now maybe queen d7 is Nakamura's idea. Maybe black can. Oh, sorry, I thought queen d8 an option. It's not an option. Yeah, that's a problem.
Queen d8.
Queen just f7. I
queen
forgot
takes
about
f7,
f7 pawn. Yeah.
What to play now?
I have no idea. Just it's very hard to coordinate pieces from black.
Let's make an ugly move.
Black.
Rook a8.
Oh my god.
What can
that
I
is
what,
ugly.
What can I do?
I can just even go f4.
f4.
Just dominating. Take a look.
Yeah.
And I'm dominating even without my rook on f1.
Also the knight now. Where can I go? a5. Let's play a5. Just see. What are you going to say? Because I want to protect my knight on b3.
Rook b1.
a4.
Another weakness created. And now what do I do? I just rook d1. No, this is horrible.
Yes, looks very horrible.
Rook on
actually.
a8, knight on b3, queen on f6. What's
There is no, move, huh?
no? This is losing.
So
completely.
let's find something else. I don't see anything
So
else.
okay, what is the best chance for Vladimir? Maybe rook f8, just at least to set the queen free. But even this, even move like knight c6 and white is dominating. Black's pieces are discoordinated and everything.
He played something.
Check. Rook takes c8. This is the position on the board right now.
Ah, this is the position.
So, unless we blundered something after queen d7, black's in trouble. Right?
Yes, as long as we looked, we couldn't find anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe one more.
Rook, queen d7.
Rook here, and again rook d2. What did we find here? Knight d7, right? Knight d7
Knight
and
d7.
back check and knight f8 check. That's it. Just check on back rank, knight f8, knight e6, come back.
Can we play, let's see, knight d4?
You mean where?
Instead of rook d2.
Knight d4. Yes, but I believe knight g4 could be a threat.
Knight takes, you are saying knight takes c7, eh? Knight takes f7. But now knight takes f7.
Let's assume.
And now I can play rook f8 and e2 pawn is hanging. What do you say?
1 second, here pieces are discoordinated. There might be some trick.
With knight d7 you mean?
No, knight d7, queen e7.
Yes, queen e7 and then nothing.
Queen is maybe just improving my position. I think you're paralyzed.
The only move I see is rook d5. I don't see.
But I always have knight d7 and that back rank check. And knight f8, knight takes e6, just I eat everything. Again knight d7. So maybe in this position some move like g6. No, but this is not good. You know, queen and knight is dominating three black pieces and rook on f1 is still not playing.
Yes.
g6,
so
knight f7. No, knight
rook.
f7.
Knight, let's see rook f8.
Here?
No, rook
no,
f8.
There's maybe still, no, but this just looks like, what's
rook
your next
e8.
move?
Okay, rook e8. Maybe my next move is
queen e7.
Queen e7.
I cut you off. Now this is horrible for black. Queen d7 is played.
Queen d7 played.
Queen d7 is played. I think Kramnik's in trouble unless he comes up with something brilliant, really, because it really looks that white's two pieces are dominating black's three pieces.
I still feel like there is some sources for black.
Yeah.
I still feel like in this position.
Actually, I think
something we are missing.
I think Kramnik missed queen d7. It's quite an easy move to miss in this position.
Yes, just actually it's not so easy to.
Usually you
queen d7, yeah.
And suddenly they are so well coordinated, this queen and knight. So maybe
this queen d7 very strong move.
Okay, so let's leave him.
Let's move on
to Grishchuk's game.
In this
we
game,
left off
as far as I've seen in the whole playing area, Kamsky was thinking very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't know why.
I think he always does.
I don't know why, but let's check the position.
Okay, we left off at knight c3. It was the opening. d6, a3, bishop g4. Okay, black is trying to use the d4 square. The downside of knight c3 is the d4 square is not protected anymore, and now white doesn't have time for h3, right? Just for our viewers to. The point is usually h3 is good, and this bishop has to go somewhere. But now takes, and knight d4, and black is better. Queen moves, and the point is knight takes, and white's pawn structure is ruined. So that's the problem. So bishop e3, and now knight d4. So Gata decided to force stuff to knight d5. Interesting. He could have just entered different color bishop position, right?
Yes.
But I think it's not.
This bishop will be stronger.
Much stronger, yeah. I don't think that this is enough for a win, but it would. He would be struggling for a while here.
Yeah.
White would just push kingside pawns, maybe play a4, use the a file. This bishop is much stronger.
But maybe he can go back to bishop e6.
Well,
what do you
first,
think of
okay.
but the
I just play
d4 is hanging.
d4 is I force you to take,
yes.
and this is very unpleasant position, I think. Very unpleasant. The point is white's play is very easy. Queen moves back, f4, a4, and this bishop is much stronger than black's. Decent chances for a draw as usually,
yes.
but highly unpleasant position. That's why I guess he decided to keep the knights and maybe kicks that knight away. h3, takes, c6, and Grishchuk avoids exchanging pieces. It makes sense. That bishop is not good. Knight f4, rook c8. Rook c8. Why?
Rook c8, why?
Why? Why not? Okay, he planned bishop g5. Why not bishop g5 right away? Rook c8. I guess he's protecting the c6 pawn. But in what variation it is hanging? I cannot understand. So he played rook c8 and then bishop g5.
But then he played
Nemtsovich style move.
But then you will understand why. Continue a bit more.
d5, e takes d.
And then
that's his
you
idea.
See, that was his idea.
So you predict that he played rook c8 with this idea?
Must be.
But why not start with bishop g5? I do not understand what was the problem with this move. I don't see a problem with it.
Maybe knight e2 now?
That's what was played in the game, but okay. Okay, rook c8, quite grandmaster move, I would say. Quite hard to understand. At least, okay, the idea might be clear, but why at this point? g3, I guess white wants to play h4 now.
Yeah.
So that's why he has to go here, and now d5. He sacrificed a pawn. Again, yesterday he sacrificed a pawn against Anton Korobov. But I guess that's because he doesn't like his position. That is my assumption.
Yes.
Yesterday he maybe already didn't like his position. That's why he wanted to complicate stuff.
Here
and this position is also unpleasant. You know, white is about to move the queen away, push f4.
Exactly.
The pawn is the point is that pawn is very weak. c5 is not really an option. Really strong bishop.
Yes.
And the d5 square and everything. So he decides to go for complications like that.
The threat is, what is the threat now?
Is it c4?
Knight f6 or c4?
I don't think c4. c4, just bishop goes back to a2. Maybe it's a positional sacrifice, you know, just to close that bishop.
So you mean there is no threat here? Knight d6 maybe?
Maybe slowly try to win back that d5 pawn.
Yes, should be some kind of...
Because now the f4 is not a good idea for white, right? f4 is just weakening.
But you know, you can always play c4 with white. If it takes on c3, you can take it on with the knight.
Oh, by the way, let's take a look. c4 makes a lot of sense here.
B takes... you should take back on the c3. En passant. D takes c3.
Okay, let's consider... Oh, wait, isn't knight e5 an option here? Forcing
knight
queen
e5.
e4.
Oh yes, knight e5 also
forcing
dangerous.
This one, and now
rook e8.
Or maybe
even
queen
d6
e8. And f5 to follow. Oh no, f4. Sorry, that's a blunder.
Rook e8, where do you go with the queen? Rook e8. If you play queen f5, g6.
And now knight c4 is a big threat.
Yes, knight c4 is threat.
Is it? Oh, and then knight d2. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's... So now c4 is premature. So maybe let's take a look at queen, just like that. But wait, what is the idea of this move? I'm not going to play f4 here.
There are maybe rook d1. What do you think about rook
A,
a d1 or
rook A,
f
D1.
d1? I don't know. One of them.
Let's say rook A d1. But what's white's next move? c4, yeah?
c4 now.
C4.
D3 is protected, so I can go back to g2 if he plays knight e5.
Now c4 is not scary, it's just helping white, right?
Yeah.
So what do black do? Knight b6. Yeah, maybe knight b6. And then I want to go bishop f6.
Yeah.
If you push me, and then maybe c4 at some point.
If you want,
I think it's a positional compensation. Just close the bishop, and it's not so clear how white can organize his pieces.
Exactly. Now the times are approaching.
Because,
you know, it's,
because in this position, it's very easy to play for white. Queen moves, f4, just push the pawns.
And
d4
is
is hanging.
thinking for a long time.
Yeah,
so it looks like a good plan for black.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
To another match.
Right.
We've seen first two boards of this match.
What do you say, Germany, Turkey?
Let's go. Okay, let's go to German, Turkey.
Board number 1. Henkin Ipatov.
So
we left off in this position. This is highly theoretical position. Knight c3 is by far the main move. And now knight e4. Very good idea, fighting for the center. Bishop e3. Yeah, I think white has not a big but a steady advantage, you know. Just, I have the center, what have you got?
He played
solid.
He
played, and now he played d5. Patov is fighting for the center, rook c1 and knight c6. Interesting. Knight c6, queen a4, d takes c4, queen takes c4, e6. I guess e6 is a novelty. e6 is a novelty in this position.
It's been played, this?
Yes, e6 was played.
Until now. It's interesting.
Rook fd1 and rook c8. I don't like black's position.
You don't like it?
It's very similar to Nakamura Kramnik. You know, and black is only dreaming to push c5 here, don't you think? Maybe black is not going to push, maybe black's going to play queen e7, rook d8, but steady but lasting advantage for white. Just
maybe he can play queen d5.
Yes, he has to consider stuff like that, but then I just capture. You take with the bishop and I exchange that bishop, and I have pressure on c-file, constant pressure.
Constant pressure.
So for example, what would I consider here for white? Well, I need to get rid of this bishop on e4. So I would consider maybe, but where to go with the knight? It's knight c3. Okay, I'm gonna play a3 just improve the position a little bit. And for example, if you go queen d5,
yeah,
I would consider maybe not even. Oh, I have to let's say takes, and move my knight somewhere. Let's say knight e1. I guess you take, and I take back with the king. Your knight is hanging. You have to move it.
Yes. Maybe
to e7. And now white has steady but lasting advantage. If this pawn was on b7, that would be almost equal. But with pawn on b6, I'm gonna just, I don't know, double rooks.
You can even play maybe b4.
Maybe b, but you are not. You're not threatening c5 at the moment.
No, but
b2
a5 can be played.
Oh, I'm gonna go knight d3, maybe knight e5 if at some point. Not a big, but a lasting advantage, I would say.
Knight d5, maybe.
Oh, knight d5. All right. Okay, so I need to be careful.
You need to be careful, yeah.
Actually, you want to go c5 now because of that pawn on b2. So maybe a3 was a little bit too slow. Maybe b3 with same ideas.
b3. And also, I don't like this place of the bishop on e3.
Oh, and
because,
let me.
You know,
it's a little bit misplaced.
You have to play e3 in some moment.
Yeah.
You know? This bishop on e3 doesn't look very.
Also, maybe I go. Maybe I do this.
Yes. But later on, how you will be able to play e3? Because this bishop,
So
you
you
will
just
have the
go-
bishop problem all the time.
So, but where do you go with the queen? If queen
Well,
d7,
queen
knight.
d5 is
If queen d5 takes, maybe.
knight e5.
Oh no, I lose a pawn and I don't get anything back. Yeah, maybe it's not as bad as this. If I were white, I would consider stuff like this if it's working, with the idea to get rid of that bishop.
Yes,
but
of
I
course.
don't think black always has an option. In the worst case, he can do this and run away with the bishop. So maybe white doesn't have lasting advantage.
Well, actually, it looks like a little bit. White has the edge, but
White is fully developed,
can
but it's
hold.
not clear what to
white.
do.
It looks like black can hold.
Yeah, that bishop on g7 is quite strong, actually.
Yeah.
If I would have played e3 at some point, maybe I
Yeah.
would be better. But now that, that's why Henkin is thinking. Yeah, maybe it's just
You
equal.
know what I was thinking now? Why he cannot play the queen on a6?
Queen on a6.
Yes, it's interesting. Queen a6. What are you going to do now?
And you?
Well, after exchanging the bishops.
Okay, let me try this move.
Okay, let's
Knight
play a3, for example. A3.
a3. Okay.
You didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. So maybe I just... Yeah, queen a6, interesting possibility.
Because this a7
But
pawn,
maybe I can do this right away. Oh, you
I
can
cannot take it. Yes, I can take it probably.
And c7's hanging. But no, but I'm doing this. And I'm
what
threatening rook
you are
a8 and
doing?
knight e3, bishop h6. I don't know.
Maybe,
You probably go back.
maybe bishop f4.
Aren't you afraid to lose your queen?
I'm attacking c7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Maybe I do this.
Then maybe bishop g5.
Let's consider
Bishop
the
d2.
forced moves.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And-
this is not.
and I
danger.
tricked
this
you.
Is, yes, you tricked me.
Yeah. But maybe you just go back.
But then I didn't like it too much.
Takes.
Yes.
Takes. Bishop h6.
Bishop h6.
Queen.
You mean it's
Rook c3.
You mean still
I'm-
doesn't have maybe.
I've got a pawn. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe you're right.
I'm gonna move my knight, and maybe it's not enough.
Maybe still playable for white.
Oh, but maybe you win the pawn back. Oh, d5 was played.
What is this?
Okay,
Bishop
the point
takes
is
d5.
bishop takes d5 is the only move. Seems to be the only move.
Rook takes d5.
And rook takes d5.
He missed this move.
No, it's just not that clear what's the pawn on b2 is
Yes.
hanging. But two pieces could be...
Or
Oh,
maybe
so-
first take on d5 and then take on
Maybe.
c6.
Takes,
Takes, and then takes on bishop b2.
but now
What is this?
looks like winning for
bishops.
white, actually.
Two bishops. He missed this move.
No, but for now black has two pawns for two pieces, and if this pawn jumps to c5 from c7,
Yes, then it's okay.
but how to, black cannot get rid of that rook, white's gonna just even this move.
You're right.
even
And
this
bishop h3
takes.
and on d5 is hanging.
Oh, this is a position on the board.
No, this is
So
it
takes,
must-
that would be probably... Oh my god, this is very bad for black.
Yeah, looks very bad.
Let's continue. Let's believe in black's position a little more. I don't believe that Ipatov missed d5 possibility.
Well, I don't know. Now
So bishop b2, what do you do? If bishop h3, f5, it's not scary. So what else? Bishop f4, try to win that pawn on c7.
bishop f4 is possible, yes.
Bishop f4. I go rook e8. e3.
Yeah.
e3.
Actually, what you showed
And rook
was
e6.
better, you know.
Sorry?
I
Knight
don't
d4.
like bishop f4. Bishop
what the-
d4 or knight
Bishop
d4.
d4.
Or knight d4.
Knight d4. Knight d4 is not. Oh, d5 is hanging. And
d5
knight
is hanging, knight b5 also is a threat.
let me take and play this move. This looks very bad actually.
Bishop
But
e5. But no, bishop e5, but
Rook e8.
rook e8.
Rook e8.
Yeah.
The thing is, if black exchanges one pair of rooks, for example, even after rook d6, I don't think that would be a...
Difficult for black to hold. It's not so difficult for black
yeah,
to hold. Yes.
white needs that pair
Yes.
of rooks. But
So
definitely
maybe
black
not,
is struggling.
Not so bad, huh?
So no, but just white is so active, black is so passive, that just can't be right. Let me try this one.
Bishop d4. Takes.
Bishop a3 looks. This is the position on the board actually now.
He
After
played-
bishop takes b2.
He
This
didn't
is the
play yet,
position on the board, but I do believe that black's in big trouble here.
Bishop takes.
Takes. d5 is
Okay.
hanging. Rook d8 is the only move, right?
Only move.
And now what do? I do this. And if you do this, I do this. And if you do this, oh, I thought I have.
You
knight
cannot
d5.
take on d5, huh? You
Oh,
are thinking
sorry,
to
now
take
this
on
is-
d5.
Yeah, I forgot. So okay.
But you can play knight a7.
Oh yes. White is winning.
Yes, rook takes c7.
Rook goes, and that's it. Black is losing. Bishop d4. If takes. If you give away bishop d5, e4, game over, right?
Yeah.
So rook d8 is the only move. Knight d5, maybe not a6, but what else? Black is completely.
I don't see anything else.
Knight a7 is still a threat. No, this is.
Can
very
I
bad.
play?
I'm gonna go knight a7 anyway. Rook takes c7.
Can I play? Yes, but can I play rook d7?
What's your next move?
If you
a6.
take on a7, I play rook a8. But
Your next move is
a6.
a6.
yes,
Very bad position for black. I don't know.
very bad, but
Very
still
bad.
looks like still.
Still, you can
maybe
try
knight
to.
c3 here.
Knight
knight
c3. I
c3.
thought rook d8.
Rook d8. Okay.
1 second, then let me think in this position. What is your next move? Is your next move rook d6? Maybe.
Yes.
And try to
I want
hold
to
that.
get rid of this rook. Yes.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
for this, even I lose a pawn. It's still bad for black, but maybe he can hold, huh? Because
Maybe.
he will lose the d5 pawn, then he will lose the d6 pawn.
Still a bad. For example, e3. Just in.
Let's check this.
Even
Takes,
this is a
takes,
bad
takes.
endgame.
Yes. This is also bad. Yes.
This is a bad endgame.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
bad.
could also have the same with the bishop on d4. But I think it's better to have a knight actually.
Actually, this looks very bad for black.
Yes, it does. No counterplay.
Yes,
Even if you
also
push the
cannot
pawns
push
to-
the pawns. How to push the
Mm.
pawns? So difficult.
No, maybe
rook c5,
check
rook c5,
and a6, b5.
or maybe you don't need. You just play rook c5, and then play b5.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's black pushing the pawns, and if the pawns are,
If he cannot, he can push the pawns. Then
he would push to b4 and then push b3. A
Yes.
takes b3, a3.
yeah.
This is not bad for black. Not
So
bad
maybe
at all.
he has chances to make draw.
So that is why I think Henkin is trying to figure out the best way here. But this just can be true. Black should be in big trouble here.
Yeah.
Should be.
If you want, let's move to the Solak's game.
Yeah, because this, I think
this
Ipatov
is-
has a bad
it
position.
Doesn't look very promising, but still.
All right,
Some
we
chances
left
to
off
hold.
after Queen F3, where we had Akopyan. No, we left off here. Akopyan Meyer game, Queen C7.
Yeah.
Meyer is sticking to his idea, and now G4 as a novelty.
He played g4.
Yes, White
As
played.
Akopyan did.
No.
Akopyan
Akopyan played
C4. He played.
He played c4, yeah. Solak played g4, but he spent like 7 minutes on it. So it's, I don't think it's his preparation anymore.
But g4, what about e5? I don't understand this.
What about what?
e5, knight
E5.
f5? Probably knight f5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, knight f5.
Knight f5.
No, it's not Meyer's style to go crazy. Knight d5,
Yeah.
aiming to f4, bishop d3.
Well, as you see now the position, the difference of the position. Without playing c4, he played g4.
Yeah,
And
and
now the
Meyer
knight has
uses right away.
d5 square. So maybe he missed c4 move. He forgot the variation. Maybe. I'm just thinking.
Maybe it's still an improvement.
Because
Let's give a chance.
Yes, let's see.
b5 was played. Queen g3, bishop b7. I think.
But this is this
think
can't
it's
be,
nothing.
This can't be for White's intention. I think White forgot the move and then he wanted to play this ending because he forgot this variation.
Maybe.
This is what I'm thinking.
It's all of these
you
endgames
wouldn't
are
have
good
played.
for
You
Black.
look at this g4, you know.
Maybe his idea is to push f4s and bring the king to e3,
This
but
g4 move, you know, it's a premature move, I think.
seems to be, yeah.
Yeah,
Because this endgame is very solid for Black
yeah.
and very easy to play, actually.
Maybe he has some chances with knight c6 again in this as Kramnik Nakamura game.
Maybe it's not that easy endgame.
Yes, the king is in the center.
White indeed has
Yes,
worse pawn structure.
White has the 3 against 2 on the queen side.
But it's not clear in whose favor is it, you know. In Sicilian, White also has 3 versus 2, but that is if Black.
Yeah, but the king is in the
The
center.
king is
so
close,
this,
yeah.
If he makes a post pawn, it will be dangerous
Yeah.
for Black.
Yeah, but it's quite hard
If
to
he
imagine to
manages.
make a pawn.
Yes,
post
if he
pawn.
manages. Of course, he has to exchange some pair of pieces. I mean, maybe the rooks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now c3 and then knight somewhere, b3 or f3, or maybe knight c2 with the idea.
Actually, Solak has only 15 minutes left on the next 15
Yeah,
moves.
Meyer has 55 minutes.
55 minutes, yeah.
So it means that he didn't play right, this variation.
Well,
But I
or
think
maybe
he
I
can
know what
make
could.
draw this easily.
Oh yes, I think he's not risking here. Well, only that maybe the time trouble could help him
Well, how many
get away.
moves?
15 moves left. 1.5 minutes per move.
Uh-huh.
He needs
It's
to do.
a long time.
Yeah.
It's not a long time.
Yeah, so my guess is he may have prepared this g4 and maybe the computer evaluates in White's favor.
Yeah.
But then he didn't have, time to get deeper into that position.
Yeah.
And I know it by my own experience, Computer says it's better. You don't pay, don't get into deep analysis. Then you get this position on the board.
Yeah.
But then you try to figure out why. Why is it better? What should I do next? And it takes a lot, if you haven't thoroughly analyzed it, you know it's better, but you don't know how. And you spend a lot of time to find this how you get better, and you spend a lot of time and end up with nothing. That may be what happened. Maybe he was looking for that advantage that computer maybe promised to him, but he couldn't find it, and it takes a lot of time, and then you may have some regrets. Why didn't I look closer? How did this happen, And stuff like that, and it eats you from inside a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, because definitely he caught him at this variation.
Okay, Mihail, let's move on. Because we have other games to look for.
So here White has slight edge, I would say, but the time trouble could save the world.
Let's go to
China, Ukraine.
Okay. Quickly. Lee Ivanchuk.
Oh my God, what's going on?
Oh, this is really interesting position.
What is going on? So we left off at this point, and h5 was played.
This is actually very weird.
Yeah, g5 makes much more sense, right?
He is threatening g5 maybe, but I don't understand this h5.
Yeah, bishop g3 and bishop h7.
I don't understand.
It's weird.
Very
Castle.
weird.
Knight h6. we
This is also
we
interesting.
shouldn't show this game to the children, right?
Yeah.
They would, if the child plays like that, he gets punishment from his coach, right? But if
He has all these, pieces on the H file.
yeah,
Ivanchuk may have, but I don't think any other one.
yeah, and now knight h4, attacking the pawn. G6 looks ugly. I would play f4 here for white actually, but
I don't understand.
maybe f4 blocking the bishop. All right.
I don't understand at all these moves.
Well, the pawn is hanging.
Yes,
what to
I
do?
understand, but
What to
I
do?
don't understand why he plays like this.
He wants to win badly.
Who?
Ivanchuk.
Really?
Yeah, because if you play normally this exchange Slav, you get
But
a
with
draw
this,
maximum.
with this setup and with this pawn formation, look at this.
Maybe
Bishop on h7.
he's hoping maybe to crush his king with those pawns. If he needs one more move, maybe queen f7, and then g5 is a threat, forcing white to go back with the pieces,
Yes,
or
but
to go f4 and block that
White
bishop.
has many options.
So,
now.
for example, if white goes f4, which I at first glance was, but now the bishop is closed, knight goes here, and
But the bishop is not.
the bit, and white can win a pawn.
Yeah.
It's not
Looks
that clear.
very
But
bad.
now this is maybe what black is hoping for. At least white's pieces are, the bishop is not working. But Lee has played knight b5, king f7, makes sense. Knight c7, wow, he is indeed an active player. Rook c8 and queen takes b7.
What is this?
Seems like winning for white, doesn't it?
Is it? Winning.
I don't know, with those pieces
Looks
on
a
h
bit
file.
dangerous. You don't see it as dangerous, but no, bishop b5 is a threat, yes? Oh yes, bishop b5 is a threat.
Bishop b5, queen c7.
Actually,
Bishop
yeah.
takes c6. Let's take a look. If bishop b5, there is no queen c7 because of this,
Yes,
and white is winning, right?
yes.
If rook takes,
Bishop-
rook takes,
Rook takes.
bishop takes, and I just go into an endgame with extra piece.
Yes, no, the
This
bishop
is-
b5 is not a threat.
Bishop b5 is not. So what is his? So this is a position on the board, and Lee is thinking. For sure, he calculated this. It cannot be just a blunder.
So what is he thinking? He calculated maybe, I don't know, wrongly, no?
Maybe f4.
F4. Yes, this looks interesting. Rook takes c7, f takes e5,
F
check,
takes c5, check.
and then next move e6.
Or e6
but
rook
he-
bit. No,
he
just
lost.
move the queen away. I just move the queen away, and I get what do I get? Two
compensation.
pawns and very active pieces. For example, if you go back like this,
Queen b3.
queen b3, yeah, queen b3. E6 is it? No, this is looks crushing actually. All white's pieces are attacking.
Now the next move, bishop f3.
Yeah, so I guess f4 is the move to consider. f4.
If he plays e4, then
I just
maybe
go f5.
f5.
Just go f5 and my knight is safe, and I open up the position.
Yes. Also h5 is hanging.
h5 is hanging. This is not good. So black has to take that pawn, that knight. Black has to take that knight, maybe with the queen. F takes e check. But white has a very strong initiative. No safe place for the king. Maybe now knight e6. Sorry, I'm missing e6. f4 looks very dangerous for black.
Yes, I think it's very good move.
I guess that is
F4
his idea.
Yes, it's a very good move.
But he is thinking now, so maybe there are some alternatives.
What?
There's also this move. Bishop takes e5.
Ah,
You take,
then
and I
take
take
on
queen
d5.
d5.
but then
You and I get
how
4.
many pawns?
Oh, only 3.
3 pawns.
Oh,
and
I thought
also-
I get 4.
I
No,
don't like-
3 is
I
not
don't like
enough.
it.
3 is not enough. So bishop e5 is not an option. Maybe queen b3 is an option. Rook c7 seems to be forced.
Rook
And
d1
now rook
or
d1,
maybe bishop
yeah.
f3. Bishop f3 also is possible, no?
But I want an extra piece in the attack.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. This bishop may go to a different there. So this is also the idea. Rook d1 or bishop f3, winning that pawn.
But this looks a little bit slow.
Yeah, f4 looks
More
better.
logical. He actually played something.
Oh, really?
What did he play? F4 he played?
F4 was played, yeah.
Okay.
I think F4 was
the
played.
best move. Yes, I think the best move. Okay, let's move on.
This looks very dangerous for black.
Egypt.
Let's second board
Armenia.
quickly with Korobov Ding. So, okay, we left off after a4. And black decided to go to Benoni
Not bishop
type.
d7.
Yeah, e6, b3, takes. Knight g4, h3, knight h6. Knight goes to f7. But I don't like this sort of Benonis with no counterplay. Now b5 is not very an option because that knight on a5 is misplaced. I think black, and Anton is really good playing this. I myself a Benoni player. Yes. And he beated me badly a few times with white. Okay, he is a stronger player, but these Benoni type positions with sometimes he sacrificed. Once he beat me sacrificing in exchange for my dark squared bishop, and once just sacrificed a pawn and for the activity just crushed me. So he's really good at these positions with white, I think. And this is unpleasant position for black. No counterplay, that's a problem. White is slowly improving, preparing b4, g4, and well, this is the position on the board right now. Black's in trouble, I think. Black has to take, right?
Has to take, yeah, and then
well, b6 is an option also, b6.
b6.
Oh, maybe b6. If b6 is an option, all right. But if maybe takes,
then he will be
strategically very unpleasant position. Weakness on f5, weakness on b7, no counterplay. b5 is never an option now. White will double the rooks, king f2, moves the bishop to d3. Very unpleasant position. So maybe he would play b6. But still, it means what's your next move?
Yeah, you have
no
to
next
wait.
move. And white has many ways to improve.
b6 is attack.
White can go bishop
or later
f1.
He will have to take on c4.
And I can attack a6 right away. And then
I don't think this b6
white is much better, I think.
I think sooner or later he will have to take on c4.
And white is clearly better.
Defend for the lifetime
thoroughly.
being.
Yeah. Okay.
What can you do?
So Anton has very good position, I think. All right. Azerbaijan, Netherlands.
Okay.
Mamedov Giri. So we left off at this position, a3, and he didn't take on f3. It's a little bit strange to me.
What did he play?
Rook b8.
Rook b8.
And if I were white, I would. The problem is okay, right. Basically, white would want to move the knight away and push that knight from e5.
Yeah.
But there is no square.
There is no square.
At least for now. There is knight d2 is not
but
possible.
d3 is hanging.
Yeah, so maybe that's why he's waiting. So bishop e3, a6, rook b1. Still knight cannot move. If the knight could have moved, he would have taken it.
You're right.
Because those two knights has only one square on d4
to
be at. So, sorry. So rook b1, b5, takes, b4. Quite a common response. And now he decided to take and play bishop f6. Taking the knight, queen d2, bishop d4. Usually the knight belongs there, but bishop g2 takes. And knight goes to d4. Rook c1 and e5, f4. I think black is better, don't you think?
Black played very well. That's what I'm thinking now.
Oh, but this c takes b.
C takes B. Maybe he's afraid that the C pawn will.
He's afraid for his center to collapse.
Because after taking on C5, knight D5, and how to protect this pawn. He didn't like it.
Okay, so he took and played this move.
Illogical. This is a normal move, yeah.
Oh, and now the rook on B1 is not working. And knight E2 could be met with exchanging and queen B6. I think this would be a draw. For example, knight E2, takes, queen B6, queen F2, takes, and rook C8.
Draw.
Maybe not yet. Bishop H3. Maybe it's not yet a draw. So maybe still slight edge for white.
Edge for white?
Knight E2 maybe. But maybe black can keep the queens on board like this. It's double-edged. Queen F2.
And then play F5.
And then, or F5, or exchange the rooks.
Exchange rooks.
And it's not clear how white can improve.
There is also the C3 square.
Yes, definitely, yeah. So I guess this should be a draw with the correct play. Yeah. Not so many pieces, not many weaknesses. And Van Velde Safarli. Oh, Safarli is winning, I think.
Winning?
Let's take a look. We left off C takes D, G5, Queen A5. H4, takes. Why not with the knight? Okay. White has problems with A2 pawn.
Yes.
G4, takes.
The pawn.
But in the end game, A and B pawns are much. If the queens were on board.
Why he has given up this pawn?
Maybe he didn't have any options. Queen A5. What to do? You have to either
take, and then A3. It doesn't.
But then I win the C file, right? Takes, A3, rook C8. You castle, and I do this.
Bishop. Yes, knight B3. Yes.
The excellent endgame.
You're right.
That's like the first thing that pumps into head. But also there's bishop C4 maybe.
Exactly.
But black is better. Maybe that was the problem. But now it seems those pawns are much more important on A and B. E5 takes, rook D8, knight takes. Oh, and now two bishop advantage. Wow.
Looks like
white's in big trouble.
Big trouble, really. And now H4 also hanging.
But now rook H1 and win back the pawn.
Yes, there is some.
And with the bishop versus knight, you want to keep the
maybe A5.
Just push the
A5.
pawn.
Yes. A5, A4. Just push the pawns.
White still has some chances for counterplay with E4, E5.
Yes, E4, E5.
Just
and also maybe some attacking chances on the G file and on the C file. Yeah,
but definitely black is better here. Just open, just many reasons.
With some accurate play, yes.
Black should be winning. Bishop is stronger than a knight, completely open position. Black has two passed pawns.
Yes.
And rook plus bishop is better than rook plus knight.
Yes.
Also white is in big trouble.
It's a pawn, which is
a pawn extremely dangerous. White
strong.
Is suffering for a draw here.
With the combination of F6 bishop,
Yeah, that's why I want to go E4, E5 as fast as possible.
Maybe white can play at some moment the knight on D5, but.
But what if I exchange a pair of rooks?
Yes, maybe it's a good idea to exchange one of
maybe you keep it.
Maybe
like
I
this.
have to keep it, yeah.
A5, E4. Maybe like that. B5.
Bishop C3 maybe. I don't want.
Oh yeah, bishop C3, very good.
C3.
Yeah. E4, bishop, but then my knight can come. So some practical chances.
Some chances, yes. This
but
knight
I can even sacrifice an exchange sometimes. But
yes.
Oh, knight B6. Okay, some practical chances with the knight, but white is suffering for a draw. All right.
Let's go to Egypt against Armenia.
Armenia versus Egypt. Board number 1. Ezat Movsesyan. black is clearly better.
Yes, the d4 square now.
So the long-term weakness finally pays off for black.
Yeah.
We left off at this position with knight e1. He just played h5. Interesting.
It's really interesting. H5. I never thought of. He prevented
bishop g4.
That's
indeed,
what we were looking for.
Indeed. Yes, you're right.
It's a good move.
Very good move. Yeah.
Otherwise, he plays bishop g4
and exchanges
everything,
piece,
and then what to do?
Oh. I know the knight is bad on c3, but is this a way? I would play b4 here, if it works tactically.
Yes, b4 actually is a good idea.
Oh no, b4, knight takes d3.
Now?
This is just
okay,
losing.
now is not working.
b4 earlier could have,
yeah,
like maybe here b4.
Earlier, yeah.
And a5, knight a4, but this knight b1.
Or maybe first take and then you play
yeah,
b4.
Yeah.
On c5.
And now this is just white is struggling.
Then all these moves, you know, knight e1, knight d3, why to play all these moves?
Yeah, white is just
yes.
suffering. With chances for success, but maybe the bishop will come to h3 now. Maybe it's not that easy to break through, you know. You cannot open any more files for black. Yeah, and you cannot exchange dark squared bishops. That's the problem.
Some chances to draw.
Some chances to draw, but definitely black
is much better.
But if you can put the
knight on d4, then it's...
But then I can go to... How do you... You go, let's say
bishop b6.
I just run away.
No, bishop.
And
okay.
if you go, I just take.
No, it's not a good idea. Maybe it's a... yes, you're right. Bishop. Is it possible to play g5? Maybe on...
Yeah, maybe g5 could be the plan.
Attacking on the king side.
But it seems black's rooks are not prepared for that.
g5, but what to do? You have to take on g5 and queen takes g5. What do you play?
I want to take on h5. Knight f4. Maybe g5.
Oh, also g5, if you take with the h take, knight takes g5 is interesting. Because now if you take on h5, knight h3 check.
Yeah, but I do this. No, queen g5 I like much better. And now
queen g5, you play bishop g3, yes, you're right.
And now queen g3 is happy.
King g2 and h4.
No, king g2, knight f4.
Knight f4, yes.
Yeah.
It's like the king f1.
So yeah, g5 definitely an option.
King f1 maybe now.
King
only
f1.
move.
h4.
h4.
Oh, maybe. I guess that is what Movsisan is calculating right now.
Yes.
But usually in these sort of positions, you don't want to hurry. You know, you want to slowly...
Yeah, slowly. Maybe he can move the king on h7.
On the king side, queen side maybe.
Or maybe on the queen side, but the bishop a3 is preventing. So maybe you play king h7 and to play the rook on e8 and g8.
No, but let's take a look. I can do this. Bishop c5. I guess you're
bishop
not going to exchange.
yes.
Oh, I thought queen e7 with the idea bishop d4, but the pawn is hanging. Yeah, it's not that easy. Black is clearly much better, but actually white also has an idea. Bishop g2, bishop h3.
Yes, bishop g2 is an idea.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking to play king h7. If you play bishop g2, now is the time to play g5. But now he can give check on h5.
Yeah, check on h5.
It's not a good idea.
So
if he's going to play g5, maybe now is the time.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe first play king g7, then if bishop g2, g5. What do you think?
King g7.
King g7 with the idea rook h8 and h4 after g5.
g5 takes.
Queen takes.
Takes. g3 is hanging.
Now rook h8 and h4.
Yeah, that's
My
good.
queen is very good on g5, you know.
That's good.
And I
agree. I agree.
have a very strong attack.
Yeah. So g5 is definitely a plan too, because black cannot break through on queen side. In the center, you cannot put the knight on d4. White always takes bishop d4, and different colored bishops could be a fortress somehow.
Yeah.
So g5 is definitely a way for a win, and king g7 is a good way to prepare it.
Yes.
I agree. And
Okay,
Akopyan Shocker.
Okay, let's go to Shocker's game.
We left off at this point,
Yeah.
rook d8, and we
Rook
were
d8.
considering rook d1, but
Rook
Akopyan,
d8.
I think he
C
calculated
takes b4 we also
precisely.
considered, yes, this was
Castle,
possible.
and
Yeah.
now not just simply knight g3.
Knight g3 we didn't think about.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah. Takes queen d6, knight e5. Oh, yeah, that was
Knight e5.
my proposition. Takes. Black has 2 pawns down.
This is your proposition, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not that clear. Knight on g3 is misplaced. Okay, but so it's the bishop on b7 for
It's
now.
the
But
last position?
yeah, no, not yet. He played queen b3,
Mm-hmm.
rook a e1,
Mm-hmm.
a6. That pawn is imported. And now bishop. I don't like what's going on here.
Bishop e2.
What's going? What is this?
Well,
Oh, he's
black-
planning rook b1 and b5.
Yes,
maybe.
but black is very bishop d4.
No, I think it's time to do stuff like that. Don't you think?
Oh, you don't like? I mean, okay.
Oh, sorry. Can't I just win that pawn? I
Yeah.
don't like what Akopyan did. Do you?
Well, actually, he gave lots of chances to black.
Maybe
yes?
I don't think he's even better anymore. I don't know. Maybe he miscalculated somewhere.
Okay.
So
Yeah, probably it's a. I think it's some kind of miscalculation. I don't know
Yeah,
where, but
he maybe underestimated the black's activity for those pawns, or maybe there was nothing better. Maybe after rook d1 move, maybe we missed something. You know,
you're right.
maybe rook d1 was good.
Or maybe it's time to give a break.
Yeah, maybe you're right. So I guess we're gonna take a break, short break,
Okay.
and
Okay.
we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Hi everybody.
Hello,
Uh,
we are back.
we are back here on the.
We again went to the playing hall to check what
The
players
games,
are doing,
yeah.
how they, what does a body language say to us, and we want to continue with Nakamura Kramnik game.
It was really a very interesting game, and
Yeah.
actually, as we said, Nakamura has the edge.
At the age,
And,
quite a decent
yes. Let's see how the game went on after
So we left
left.
At this point, before knight b3 takes and queen d7.
You
was
very
played,
strong
and
move,
we
yeah.
evaluated that black is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
White's 2 pieces are dominating black's pieces.
Mhm.
Kramnik played rook f8.
Maybe the only move.
Maybe
We didn't check it, but it
that
was.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
But I think we stopped at f4, just evaluating
Mhm.
that it's not good
Strong,
for black.
very good
And
positioning.
indeed, the rook cannot move. The queen, well, where to go? And queen f5 was played.
Mm-hmm.
Queen f5, yeah, quite a good move. Rook f3. Rook f3,
Yeah.
queen c2, and queen d3. Just Nakamura decided to go back with the queen,
Yeah.
getting into much favorable ending.
Ending, yes.
You can, if knight c1,
We
the
can
only
see
move,
that knight
you
is
can-
out of the game.
you can take a look that white's pieces are much more active.
Mm-hmm.
Black has weakness on f7, on a7.
Mm-hmm.
The knight is completely out of play, black is in big trouble. So, quite even though this variation is considered to be more or less safe for black,
Mm-hmm.
but Nakamura managed to convert his slight edge into a very pleasant, very big advantage positional. Yet, rook c8, h4.
This h4 also is interesting.
Oh, h4, the idea is that in case black at some point wants to go f6, push that knight away, white will then fix the king side with h5, and there
Mhm.
might be some possible checkmating nets.
Ideas. But then maybe h5 is possible, no?
That is what was played.
Yeah.
h5 was played, and now b5. Actually, I witnessed Nakamura play this b5 move very quickly.
Yeah, me too. He just
Though it's not
jumped
that
on the
obvious
board
one.
and then played b5.
Not very obvious one choice, because with the pawn on b4, the knight from c1 cannot get out.
Yeah.
But after b5, it gets an excellent outpost on c5
C6.
finally.
Yes.
But of course,
yes, e5, yes.
Of course, the b5 is the idea to go knight c6, fix the weakness on a7 and get another better outpost for the knight. But rook c7 was played very nice, I think, defensive moves. Protects both weaknesses at once. Knight c6 was played, king h7 and rook b2. Interesting idea. White just cuts off the knight. Yet it's quite hard to win him.
Yeah.
You know, you need the king for that. But let's see what happened. a5. Oh, this is the position in the game right now.
Now maybe
a5
he will march with the king towards the knight.
Of course. Okay, unless there is some tactics.
And what to do with
b
black
takes
now?
a, but I don't think that there is.
B takes a.
Rook c6, a7 and rook c2. Rook a8. No, it doesn't work. I'm just checking the variation. B takes a6, rook a6, rook c6, a7, rook c8, and for example rook c2, just rook a8, rook takes and rook a, and it's just a draw. So the tactics doesn't work. So my guess is Nakamura would just play king f2. Black's gonna go something like, let's say f6, king e3, threatening king d2 already, and rook d7, preventing king d2. But now white can attack another weakness, the knight on b6
Okay,
and
we
e6.
have from Twitter,
Okay.
Mr. Hans Wurst made us a comment. He said that live commentators, please say some words about the players and nations, not only pure analysis. Yes, maybe he is right. We are probably forgetting about the
Not maybe everyone
nations.
knows who is playing for whom.
We are expecting that everyone knows, but still not everyone knows.
Of course,
so
for
it's
sure.
a normal comment that we should probably say the nations of the players.
Of course. So now we are considering the board number 1 of USA, Russia.
Yes.
Dream
USA
teams.
against Russia.
USA against
Nakamura,
Russia.
the American
the strongest
player.
American player, 2786 rating. I sincerely hope he would fight for the title soon, but for now he didn't manage to qualify from Grand Prix or by rating. But he's in top 10 Grandmasters for a while now, and he beaten, maybe except Carlsen. He cannot really deal with him, at least right now. He beaten almost every top Grandmaster, so he is very strong player. The rating speaks for himself. And Vladimir Kramnik, of course, ex-world champion, the guy who beat Kasparov, and he's now one of the favorites of upcoming candidate matches. Yes,
maybe the future candidate for Carlsen.
Yeah, maybe. And his rating is 2793. It was even bigger lately. One of top Grandmasters for last, I would say, 20 years.
Yeah. So
that's why we are focusing on this game. So
now he is in trouble. We are analyzing his game against the American Grandmasters Nakamura.
Yeah.
So we just, if you want, let's conclude this game.
Okay.
So we can move on.
Kramnik is in
there
trouble.
was another very interesting game in America-USA match. Ray Robson against Vityugov.
Okay.
Vityugov against
actually, one game is already finished. Onishchuk didn't manage to create any problems for Jan Nepomniachtchi. Quite an easy draw for black, I think.
So this is now the fourth board of
the first board of the key match.
Russia playing with white pieces, Vityugov.
Vityugov. His rating is 2741. He is very strong Russian Grandmaster. He unfortunately he hasn't played in any top tournaments as far as I'm concerned, but he definitely deserves to do so.
Exactly.
And his opponent is a young player from USA. I don't know his age, but I guess he's around 18 years old, stuff like that, and he's already 2,600 players, so maybe a young star of USA. On board number 4, and they were playing very sharp variation of Slav defense with e4. So bishop b4, and if you remember, the first win of Carlsen was in this variation.
Knight c3.
But as he usually does, he avoided these forced lines with analysis. He just played knight c3 and outplayed former world champion quite convincingly, actually.
But in that game,
but they went into a forced line: bishop d2, queen d4, bishop b4, queen e4, knight e2. Knight e2, knight a6, bishop f8. Nice move, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with the theory of this line, unfortunately, but this is definitely two computers fighting against each other for now. Knight e7, bishop g7, knight b4. Knight b4.
Really sharp.
Very sharp line. If you go to this line without any home preparation, you would lose for any color, right?
Yes.
For white and for black.
Yes,
so
you're right.
Knight b4, interesting. What was the idea to bishop takes h8? It's not that obvious.
Knight c2, knight d3. Which one? I don't
Maybe
know.
knight d3, knight f2, knight h4.
Let's just see the game.
I don't know. So, but in the game, queen d6.
Queen
I'm
d6.
pretty sure it's still home preparation.
Still,
this is completely forced lines. They should have been considered beforehand. Queen c2, king e1, e5, letting the bishop to go out. f3, preparing a place for the king. Bishop e6, bishop f6, bishop f6, threatening checkmate. Knight g6. And h4. I don't know what does the computer say in this position, but it looks winning for white. I don't know. The rook on a8 cannot enter the game. White's king is in a safe place on f2. We have equal material. Knight on a1 is out of play. We are not calculating any pawns. No one would take on b2 on a2. That's far too long. White would have, okay, h5 is threatening and checkmating. So maybe this is actually still a home analysis, because they've spent like each 1, 2, 3 minutes per move. So maybe this is still a home preparation. Queen f5, bishop g5, h6, bishop takes h6. Now black is able to move the rook back into the game. Queen c5, queen b1, king f2, knight c2. Actually, they spent not more than 6 minutes per move till this moment. That's surprising, because in a few moves I think white is just winning. h5, knight f4, bishop takes, e takes, and queen a5, and queen d1. This is so far the position.
The last position is
this is the position. And white is thinking.
White is thinking to play maybe h6.
Yes, h6 actually makes the most sense. Just who can stop that pawn? But white has to be careful, because rook d2 might come, and if with the idea of h7, rook a2, and if white takes queen h1, and that pawn is stopped, and suddenly white is lost, probably. But there is a move king g1, threatening h8, queen d4 check, and king h2.
So what
is going on? Rook is hanging. The rook should move somewhere. Let's say
e5. But
e5,
no. Is, then he gets the queen.
Okay, he calculated and he didn't go for it. He played knight takes f4, but I want to make sure what didn't he like. Maybe rook d2 indeed looks very dangerous. h7, rook e2, king g1, queen d4. And now, for example, rook d2, I think it just loses to queen c3.
Yeah.
The pawn cannot be stopped. Any other move of the rook also, so rook e3 makes the most sense, right?
To stop queen c3, yes.
To stop queen c3.
But what
maybe he stopped the line right here.
What to play?
But
what
maybe
about
white just goes queen g5. What do you say?
Yes.
Queen g5, threatening queen g8.
Maybe he missed this move.
Still not over. King d7. King is running away, and just queen g8.
Queen g8.
Seems to be winning.
Seems to be winning, yes.
Don't you think?
Well, I don't see anything.
I don't see any threats for the king, right?
Yeah.
Seems to be winning. But he played knight xf4.
Then
Okay, they both have like 6-7 minutes on the clock, so it's very hard to calculate so precise.
Sure.
If you're, for example, if you know this should be winning, you would focus and calculate h6.
Yeah.
But nobody tells you, like Houdini can tell, no,
Exactly.
this is winning, and then we can confidently. We are not using Houdini, but during the break we were so curious that we checked that white is supposed to be winning in this position.
Right.
But basically we are not using any engines for the analysis. So, but he doesn't know that he is winning. So knight xf4.
Maybe some chances for black after this move. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe some kind of perpetual is available. Knight f4. What about rook d2 check?
Rook d2, yes, it's possible.
Or maybe his idea is bishop e2. Oh no, it doesn't work.
Rook takes and
queen takes
h1.
and not enough. King g1 doesn't look good.
Maybe king g3.
King g3, but then queen e1, king h2 is the only move. Queen h4, at least a draw, but maybe even more. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more.
Maybe now we can take on f3. Oh, no, we cannot take on f3.
Maybe that's a draw, but maybe knight e3, keep on pushing.
Oh yes, also. Now attacking the f1.
Looks dangerous. So
Very dangerous.
Has he prepared for rook d2? Maybe king g1?
King g1.
Maybe king g1, but I go knight e3.
Knight e3.
What is
I
his
don't
idea?
understand this.
What is his idea?
Looks like losing, you know. This position looks like losing now.
Yeah. So what are you threatening? Queen f1 and rook g2.
No.
Checkmate is just threatening. Oh, maybe king h2 now.
King h2.
And if you go knight f1, rook takes
f1.
And if you do a quiet move, queen e1, I maybe can go queen g5. And if you go knight f1, I take, you take, and I take on e6. And white is winning. I think so.
Yeah, the king's ending with the rook takes g2 looks like winning.
Yeah, king is close
with
enough.
With the passed pawn.
Yeah, so maybe that is his idea. Maybe he wants to go king g1, but it doesn't look very good. Knight e3 and now king h2. That's his idea, maybe. Maybe he's right. What do you think?
Yes, actually, this is the only probably variation. How did he play?
I don't think that. Oh, this is a position. Rook d2, king g1, knight e3. This is a position in the game.
He will play for sure king h2.
King h2 makes most sense.
Also the only move probably.
Probably, yeah.
Now let's see what can he do. Black. Maybe he has to move the rook on d4 because now I'm attacking the knight, and also, but you can take on e6, yes?
No, rook h4, checkmating.
Checkmate?
Take a look. Rook d4, and if knight takes e6, this is a checkmate.
If king g3,
queen e1. Sorry, queen e1 is not possible.
Controlled by, yes.
Oh, then knight f5 first.
Great.
If you take, I give a nice checkmate.
Very nice, very nice mate indeed.
And if you go here, maybe there is no checkmate. Oh, I can at least take on h1.
Yes. There is no mate on d8.
There is no
mate. I control the mate.
So knight f5, nice, nice move.
Yes. So maybe rook
d4 might be the move, but now we have the h pawn, and well, I have queen g5.
Queen G5.
Queen G5, and now knight F1 takes.
Yeah.
Takes, oh wait. And if knight F1, rook takes F1, takes, and still knight takes E6. And if you recapture, I give you double check and
then
win.
You win the, yes.
And I win.
Yeah, this is also interesting.
So maybe rook d4, queen
If you
g5.
take on E6, maybe I have a intermediate move.
But then I go back to F4 and I'm much better. The H
yes,
pawn.
you have
So
with this H pawn.
yeah. So knight F1 doesn't work, and it seems that nothing else works either. So any other ideas? So basically White's next move is queen g5, right? To protect the h4 square, the knight.
Well,
I think knight e3 was played.
Knight E3 was played, King H2 was not played.
King H2, he's thinking. What is he thinking? I also at one point considered queen takes D2 and H6, but it just doesn't seem to work. Even this one. Just nothing.
No, also you can stop with the bishop with F5 and then sacrifice.
Yes. Queen G5 was played. Ooh.
Queen G5, we didn't expect this move.
At all. We
Why
did not
he
expect.
played
Why
Queen
not
G5?
King H2? What did? Oh, King H2. If King H2. Oh, Queen F3 doesn't work. Queen takes.
Maybe he didn't
Oh,
like
no,
rook D4.
Sorry?
He didn't like make rook D4, this variation we were just analyzing.
Rook D4, but Queen G5.
Yeah, but he didn't like it, I don't know why.
But maybe 1 second, maybe I can take here. Just Queen takes F3. That is what he didn't like, I guess. And Queen D2, Queen F4, game over.
Yeah.
That's game over. And
Maybe
if G3, knight G4,
yes.
Black's winning.
Yes.
And King G1, just Queen F1, Black's winning again.
Yeah, you're right.
So just Queen F3 was winning.
Queen F3 was winning, yeah, probably.
Well, maybe, no, it's winning. Knight G4 is coming. That's it.
Exactly.
So that's why he played Queen G5.
Yeah.
Queen F1 was played.
But now I think
Maybe
he's
Robson
losing.
is winning.
Now I think he's losing.
What do you do?
No.
The H pawn is still quite dangerous.
Yes. Still
And knight E6 is threatening.
H6 is the threat now, H6, H7. But H6, bishop F5 is possible.
No, knight E6 is if you move the queen away.
You first play knight E6.
Oh no, but then G2 is hanging.
But G2 is hanging.
But
Queen
okay,
F2 maybe.
Queen F2.
Only move.
Oh, Queen C4 also possible, but that's
Queen
moving
C4.
the queen too far, I think.
Queen C4, but knight takes E3, E6, then something's hanging.
So
No,
this is the
queen takes
position.
E6, yeah,
This
then
is the position. King H2 is played. And what to do on Queen F2? You propose knight E6, yes? But maybe I have
also
time.
you can take on F3. no?
F3, I think, yeah.
Instead of Queen F2. Why not take on
You
F3?
mean here?
Yes, directly Queen takes F3.
Seems to be winning on the spot.
Yes, I think it's totally lost position.
Just knight G4 coming, that's it.
Knight G4, yes.
No checkmate, no perpetuals, nothing. Robson is winning.
Wittigo missed H6.
Missed H6, it's a long line.
And then he blundered.
No, because after knight F4, I think he's already lost.
He's lost?
Well, just rook D2, and we couldn't find anything better. Queen F3. Queen F3, 0-1, game over. Robson won.
Maybe we can invite him.
Yes, that
for
would
the
be good
analysis,
to have him here. Yeah. Okay, so we move on to some other games.
Yes. If our friends will invite Ray Robson, then if he decides to come, we may have him here for this interesting game, actually. Very interesting game. Because now the score is in favor of Russia.
No, America.
America, sorry.
And Nakamura is close to winning.
Is winning.
And Grishuk
maybe not winning, but
and
at
Grishuk
least
seems to be in kind of trouble.
Grishuk also seems in trouble.
This is the position on the board.
So maybe,
and Grichuk has 1 minute
disaster
left.
for Russia. It's interesting. Let's see the Grichuk's game now.
Well, the Grichuk is the only one to be able to win, and this is his position. You cannot win this one.
What is this position?
All right, let's take a look at Nakamura Kramnik. What's going on here?
What's going on?
We left off at this position, King H7, Rook B2, A5 was played. I predicted King F2, F6, King H3, Rook D7. That was my prediction. And what was played now? What did he do? I considered Knight D4 in this position.
Knight D4. You have the position there?
This I have a position after move number. Oh, maybe this is my analysis. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. So we left off at this position, A5, King F2, Rook D7, Knight E5 was played by Nakamura. Rook C7, and now Rook D2 goes back. Didn't he had this just a few moves back? He had this.
Goes back.
This was the position. Oh, I think Kramnik is saving the game. This was the. Let's take a look what happened. This is the position white to move. He plays Rook Knight C6, Rook B2, brings the king into the center. One move he did and goes back to the same position. Okay, A5, there is a change. The pawn went to A5 and now the B6 pawn is vulnerable. That's the difference. That's the difference. The pawn was on A7.
That's the reason why maybe
he changed the plan, yeah. F6, Knight D7, Knight B3, Knight F8, Rook D7, takes, Knight D4, A4 and Knight B5.
This is interesting.
Maybe he made... So what's the line here? Takes, A4, Knight B6, A3, Knight D7.
Just a minute.
All right. Knight B5. Knight B5. Okay. It seems we have guests here.
We have our first guest, Anishkiri, welcome. Hello. Against Rauf Mamadev.
Hi, please take a seat.
Yes. Okay, please sit down here. You can sit down here.
Hi. Hi. So please tell us a little bit about the game. What was going on? Who was better? Your thoughts?
No, I think C4 was very creative, and I think it's not a very good move because if he's not in time to get D4, then I should be very comfortable with black. I thought even potentially slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was logical what I did. B5, he takes on D4. No, I think I'm slightly better here, but I didn't see what was the best way. Also, I can sacrifice pawn.
Sorry, 1 second. No. Yeah, okay.
Maybe I thought even like this. To give a pawn, maybe.
You mean on B5 pawn?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how he takes, but somehow I mean, it's nice position for black. I don't know if I can be better, so I was thinking white should be able to make a draw somehow. I mean, even something.
What if white takes E3 with the pawn to protect the square?
How?
With the pawn on E3.
That's possible too.
I don't know, to cover the D4 square.
No, of course, yeah, and then you take. Okay, I mean, I still have very good compensation. I play bishop A6. It looks anyway to me that black is good. And then I liked this idea, knight d4, e5, because I thought that if he goes knight d5, then I will take on d4. And otherwise I will not take on d4, and my knight is very strong. For example, if he tries to change, I thought I'd play this. But better for black, I thought. I thought I'm better, and here I thought I play just f6. Looks very good. I think it's the best move, but I was a bit afraid that he'll play this, and we didn't have so much time, so okay, I was calculating some line like this. G4. And it should be good for black, for black objectively, but time trouble. I was thinking some knight d5 will come. I don't know, somewhere h4 g5.
And what about knight d5 on f6? By the way, how to protect the pawn?
Then I think I'll take again. And my point is, I take only when knight is far from e2, because otherwise he changes it like in the game. So if this was better for black, at least a little bit. So I should have played. I mean, I don't know if I should have played, but I was thinking f6 is the best move to play. And I thought that I have safe small advantage here, but I can also maybe should put the bishop somewhere here, maybe.
Anyway, knight e2, I think.
Yeah, but the bishop is better here if knight e2. No, I mean the thing is that it's equal position, but black looks slightly more comfortable. And how I played, I thought okay. I mean, I thought it doesn't matter what I play, but finally maybe I'm more precise to play here some waiting move. What do you play?
Maybe queen b6.
Oh yeah, it's just the same, yeah. Yeah, for example here, yeah, then as I played a little bit not so precise, and I was a bit already under pressure, because I planned this, queen b6, yeah. And I think it's a draw. Somehow, like, I don't know, some move. But I suddenly was not so sure.
What if queen takes d6?
Yeah, I was thinking this should be a draw, but I suddenly got some doubts.
Maybe white could play, if you play a waiting move, I also play h4 waiting move.
Yeah.
To hide my king, I don't know.
But I'm going queen c1.
Ah,
yeah?
c1, sorry.
Because if I go queen c1 immediately, then you have bishop f1.
There is no check on s3, okay.
Okay, I can also take. This just has to be a draw because his king is too open. I thought actually that, I mean, I should be able to create perpetual, but then I realized that maybe there will be no perpetual, so why to do this? But then I got under a little bit of pressure, I think. It was not so easy to force a draw. You think you're better somewhere, yeah?
Yes, I think g6 beat queen b8 I can play.
But then I take, maybe. Queen g4 h3, yeah? So king g7.
No, maybe back queen b6.
But I don't have perpetual. No, generally I thought it's perpetual somehow. Yeah, I think it is because, okay, if let's say, maybe he can give check, but I can make any move, I guess, so it doesn't matter. Maybe if he takes, then I check. Looks like a draw, no?
Yeah.
So I think this would be logical somehow to some draw like that, but suddenly this was wrong because my idea was to play queen c6, but it doesn't work because there's queen e7, yeah. I'm just losing material. So then it was more precise to play something else. But I thought actually that no matter what, it's a draw, and here I played this and yeah, d5. And he offered me a draw because probably our match is not looking so good. But otherwise, okay, white still, I mean, black still has to show how he makes a draw, because let's say if I'm trying to force it, okay, he'll play for a while, and I was thinking, because he wants queen c7 check, if I play like this, I should be able to make a draw somehow, I think. I don't know, like this, I thought, but I'm not sure, because maybe...
Why not queen b6?
Queen b6, yeah. But I was not so sure. Bishop f1, check, yeah?
You go back.
King h1. But this should be draw, yeah? Because you don't have even the next move. Yeah, so something like that, but white still, he's pawn up here, so he can try to pose me some problems, maybe. But yeah, basically he agreed draw here. So I think it was somewhere here I had very nice position, I think. Also all the way, there were some options here. To start with, also with bishop f6 somewhere.
Bishop 6 is then I take on e5.
And if I do this first? Queen d2, no? I thought this is transposing just queen d2.
Or maybe knight e2 and d4. Is it possible?
No, but I thought like this I get b5.
5 takes.
Yeah, it was also possible.
I said d4, but then maybe c4, yeah?
Yeah, but black is very comfortable. I mean, in the worst case, it's a seed and it's very nice, It's all nice for black.
Yeah.
And also you can play knight e2 maybe.
No, I don't like knight e2.
But yeah, queen d2 looks more healthy. Yeah, here I can also do something else.
What you will play if I will take on c5?
When? Here?
Yeah. Queen f6.
I thought queen f6.
Knight e2.
Where?
Knight e2.
But then dc, no? No, I was calculating knight takes b5. At least there's some. There's rook takes b5, I think, yeah. Bishop c3, I was calculating some line. No, I was not... should be winning for black, yeah? Because I'm piece up, but it was not so obvious because e5 is coming, so... But okay, it was... I think white played okay here to fight for d4 square, with knight e2 and... Yeah, I did not... I have to play probably something like f6 or... Because then I played... This is a little bit too... Yeah, not so challenging. But okay then. I have to be ready also to fight, and after g4, h4, some sharp position.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything to add, Rolf?
No.
Do you also think you were worse after the opening?
Yes, I played very bad opening today.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Again, thank you for coming.
We have with us Mr. Robson. Now, he won the game against VT Golf. It was a very sharp game, as we analyzed. Welcome, Mr. Robson. Please do sit down here.
Please tell us about the game, the opening. Where did your and his preparation end?
Well, it was a very complicated opening, but it was still theory for quite some time. This is still kind of just the beginning of the theory. So queen d6 is the main move here. And here black has two choices. One, like I played knight c2 check. The other would be to play knight d3 check and go into some endgame where maybe white is a little bit better. But the move I played was more complicated. And check, king e1, e5. So yeah, I'm just freeing the bishop on c8, so I can play, let's say, bishop e6, rook d8. And now f3 is still, I think it's still theory. At least I had seen this position before. I think probably he had too. Bishop e6, bishop f6, knight g6, h4. And now the bishop on f6 is very strong, stopping me from playing rook d8. So I had to play queen f5 and then h6 to just sacrifice the pawn but get my rook into the game. Queen c5, queen b1 check, king f2, knight c2. I'm not sure. I think black should be okay in all of these complications, but every move, white can play many different moves here, and all of them are interesting and complicated. So h5 is probably the most forcing, and I think my move is kind of forced because the other option would be queen e1 check, but I think the queen is it's too early to put the queen there because now after king g1 let's say if I played knight f4 and bishop takes f4, e takes f4, here white has the option of queen f2, and then he can follow up by pushing the h-pawn. Whereas in the game with the king still on f2, I can always check later, and he doesn't have this opportunity. So knight f4, take, queen a5. He just wants to stop my queen from coming to e1. And this was maybe one critical point of the game. I spent a lot of time here, and I'm not sure if I made the right choice. I heard some of my teammates told me after the game I think I could play knight e3, and the computer was giving it as should be equal. But honestly, the move I played in the game was the one I was considering almost the whole time. I think it's the most logical, queen d1, and now I just want to play rook d2. It's the main idea.
We were actually express analysis, no engines. We were wondering about h6.
Yeah, I think h6 is the reason why maybe queen d1 was a mistake. So h6, rook d2, h7, rook takes e2 check, king g1 he has to play, queen d4 check, king h2. Yeah, at first it looks like white just gave away a piece, but after looking at the position again, the h-pawn is incredibly strong, and black has to be, well, maybe black's just worse, I'm not sure. First of all, black plays something like rook e1, then I think white wins immediately with queen c3, exchanging the queens. So my main, my idea was to play rook e3, stopping queen c3, and now queen comes to g5, and it's coming to g8, just to queen the pawn. And at first I thought I was just lost here, but then I found some idea. I went to play king d7 first, and forcing queen g8, and now to play f5, attacking the queen. And now let's say queen to f8, just moving the queen. Still, it seems like he can't be stopped from queening. And now my idea was knight e1. And the point is, if he gets a queen, I can take on f3, take rook e2 check. And probably I just missed completely that my bishop is blocked on e6, and he can just play king h3. And he's just winning. So probably this was just winning for him, but maybe he didn't consider this idea because it's kind of strange just to give away a piece with check. So
you calculated till this moment, and
yeah, and I didn't realize he can't play king h3. So instead, I think for some reason he played this move, and maybe he's just worse or close to lost, and then he was just lost in a few moves. So now rook d2. I mean, maybe best was to play bishop e2, but then I can just take on e2, take on h1, and let's say if queen c3, I even have queen h4 check, and I can always take on c4. So I probably should be winning. But what he did is even worse, probably king g1, knight e3. Maybe he missed that after king h2, I can take on f3, and queen takes d2, queen takes f4 check is winning a lot of pieces. So yeah, after that he's just losing all his pieces.
And that's it, game over.
Did you have time trouble?
The opening was pretty quick, but I spent a lot of time in the critical position where I played queen d1, so I had about 8 minutes after that move, and then he started to think also after I played that, and he also got into time trouble. But in the end it didn't really affect me because I didn't really have to play any difficult moves.
Maybe that's why he missed this idea of taking, the pushing the h6,
maybe.
Because it's a very complicated position.
Yes.
It's easy only for the computers, right?
Even we didn't understand first, but later on, I mean, we don't check it, but somehow we thought h6 also is good. But it's difficult to find also queen g5.
Maybe, yeah.
This is, not so easy to see.
Yes.
But it's a very good game.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
For coming.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, Nakamura already won against Kramnik.
Ah, Nakamura won?
Yeah, let's see what happened. I think he just calculated very precisely.
Really?
At this point. I think somewhere at this point, this is very first line, 97, 93, knight f8, king g8, rook d7. So basically not so many options for both sides. Knight takes b5 and just a takes b, knight c5. brilliant move, right? Because the point is, at first glance, it may appear that knight takes b6 is an option, and then the b pawn, you cannot stop the b pawn, but actually you can two ways. Queen a7 wins on the spot, check, and also queen d4 secures a draw. So, but knight c5, and black cannot take the knight, and that is just a technical position. It's just a technical position. That's it.
Yes,
So
great game,
great game, very convincing game by Hikaru.
I think if we can manage to bring Nakamura here,
if he hasn't, if he's still around here, we'll be very happy.
Yes, to show us the game.
So USA is winning against Russia, at least.
Now for the moment, 2-0. Yes, 2-0 for
2.5 for half.
2.5 against half point. So it's already winning for USA.
Winning.
The big surprise of the day, of the second round.
Well, USA is always one of the favorites, but after
yesterday's loss, yes.
Mm,
Now they recovered back with this great win actually against Russia. So let's see the other games if you want to.
So Grishchuk comes.
We don't need to see the Grishchuk games because it's
trying
already
to make a draw.
Or it will not change
Not much will be changed.
you know the
So
outcome of the match. So it's probably.
Let's take a look at the host.
Yes,
Ipatov managed to make a draw in that.
It was very bad actually position.
What did Henkin choose? Bishop d4. That is what we were considering.
Yes,
takes,
bishop takes.
Rook d8. And now we
didn't check
we
this.
didn't check. F5, g4.
G4.
Interesting carry, and black managed
But
to
now rook
exchange the
d6.
rooks.
Yes, this is actually if he manages, it should be. I mean,
And black already has rook
holdable.
and 2
Yes,
pawns.
this position.
Yeah. Still white is better, but with such an active rook that actually white could. Oh no, this is maybe white still was better, but with pawns on both sides of the board, active rook, even with even number of pawns, that might be just a draw.
It's difficult to coordinate the pieces, you know.
Yeah.
We may have all these.
Oh, that's it. They agreed for a draw right here.
Right here? It's too early. Huh?
Yeah.
Probably he's afraid of this.
No, I guess rook a2 is coming.
Oh, also the threat is rook a2.
Maybe this is just a draw.
This is just a draw. Takes
if you take, I just do this.
What is this?
Fortress.
Why do you give out the piece?
But what else?
You don't have anything else?
Or maybe I can go something like f5.
Yeah.
Now first exchange that pawns and then give away.
Then yes. Looks like better idea to play f5.
So
but still Kenkin didn't play in the right way.
I think he should have had bigger advantage.
Yeah. Let's see quickly the other boards of the Turkey-Germany match.
So second board Solak-Mayer.
Okay, so Solak Turkish second board. Is he losing?
It's 1 pawn down.
One pawn down.
Very bad
it was actually. It was
sorry, exchange. This
he
is
gave an exchange. He made an exchange.
Let's take a quick look what happened there.
Actually, it was a difficult position.
Black just outplayed white. I think.
With the setup g5.
Just black better pawn structure.
Yeah, nothing to do for white. He's waiting.
And this is the position.
Yeah, it looks like a
good
sacrifice.
Right? White
Yes.
has to take. And king g2 seems like reasonable option.
Yes. Now knight takes g4
or maybe the a2
or maybe
wins
rook
the
c2
pawn.
check and then take a2.
White is in big
trouble. Yes.
Big trouble here.
Still some chances, but
very big trouble.
Big trouble. Yes.
Yeah. So Solak is in trouble with white. On board number 3. Najdic Yilmaz. What is going on?
What is this position?
White to move. White can go queen c8 and rook d7.
Looks like totally lost position.
No, but these pawns are not that so... white has an option of pushing the a pawn, but...
Also he's losing one piece now.
Let's take a look at the most forced line. Takes.
It's immediately losing.
Looks like winning.
Yes.
But these pawns, it's not as easy. Actually, computer, I guess, would give winning, but if the king comes, at some point maybe white would be forced to.
But they also there is a pawn.
That's a problem.
It's very difficult to
should
make
be
it
winning,
wrong.
and also here thinking now for even maybe there's something better, because actually, what is black's next move? King f7. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
that is black's next move. I think he has to take it. Oh, but there is that's why he's thinking. He can do a move like that.
Yeah.
And no moves
so
available.
Cramp position.
Nobody is moving, except maybe rook a1 is an option here, and then rook a7. Nobody is moving, you know.
Nothing is moving.
Nothing is moving, and the a pawn. So he's thinking whether to take the knight right away, and he's trying to figure out, or play on domination, something like that. I'm not sure about this, by the way. e5 could come and rook f6.
But in this case, maybe rook f5, rook d5 is possible.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's
so I would
rook
prefer
f5, rook d7.
Oh yes.
Rook d7.
You're
so
right.
maybe this move first, and then rook f6. Then just to push the pieces together. So white is very close to winning here.
Yes, I think it's winning. So probably Turkey has lost the match and has lost the revenge.
San Baris has advantage in this endgame. It's 1 pawn up.
Yeah.
So if he wins this and one of those two can make a draw, they could save the match. So it's not over for Turkey yet. All right. Let's take a look China-Ukraine.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Is any game finished?
No, not yet.
China-Ukraine?
I think
Ivanchuk?
Not yet. No.
Yes, one game finished.
1v1 against Krivoruchko.
Oh, 1v1.
So let's see. Lee Ivanchuk. Ivanchuk is close to winning, right?
Ivanchuk is close to winning.
Well, he's piece up for just a pawn.
It's very actually surprising how he managed to win this game. You know how he managed to get this. It's such a bad position.
He didn't decide to go for f4. Maybe
he didn't go for f4.
Maybe
we thought he did. Maybe we didn't see.
And he played bishop f3 and bishop d5. He wanted to secure a pawn, but it seems like the attack a little bit slowed down. Don't you think?
Probably he just.
And Vasily managed to coordinate
the pieces
and not blunder anything. Because you can easily own 3 pawns now.
What is this? And then another pawn?
3 pawns, but now black's pieces are... What's going on?
Such a complicated position.
But black's pieces are so active. White is in big trouble. What is it? Knight takes d1. Maybe some knight takes d1.
There is
maybe some
problem with the transmission of the order. Move order.
Maybe rook f1.
Yeah,
probably
rook
rook f1, rook a3, g4.
Yeah,
of course. And now Vasily is having decent chances to win.
Yes.
To win. Though it's
so let's consider this winning for Ivanchuk.
Not winning. I wouldn't say winning yet.
Yes, maybe. Okay. So if it's maybe winning, then maybe it's 1-1. Let's see the other twos.
Okay. On second board, Korobov Ding. We had unpleasant endgame for black. Remember?
Yes.
This was the
how did he play? B6?
He just took and transferred.
Why he took it? I don't understand.
He transfers the bishop to c4.
Because
I liked it.
You liked it?
Take a look. The bishop attacks
but
a6.
now he has no attack on the b file.
Well, yeah, but
how
he
to
can focus
advance?
On the king side.
Yes, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. After e4, yes, this is probably
some complicated. I guess there was time trouble. It seems to be not a very logical continuation. Black gets some chances here, don't you think?
Yes.
Oh, he wants to get in with the king. So d5 to d6. So rook f5, rook f1. Oh, maybe this is
still winning.
Maybe this is just winning. what
but
to do. If
E5
to exchange
check,
one pair of rooks,
if I
that's it.
give a check on E5,
Give a check on E5, I go king D3.
and then
Oh,
And
you have
then-
one more check.
yeah,
The only move is king D2. And there is no knight F3 because of takes, takes, takes. I guess he calculated this.
yes, but
right?
there is also this. Let me see. Without giving a check, if I exchange one piece and then play rook E7,
If you play rook E7, I
how
guess.
is it?
Oh, there is no king E4. Oh my god. King E4, take a look. Knight F6. The king has no place to
No
run
place
away.
to run away.
Okay. What else? Maybe I just do this. What do you
But
do?
now I come with the king.
Maybe I just take.
Is it winning?
Or maybe it's just a fortress.
Or you can give check also on D8 and king.
This is almost forced, right? Rook E5, King F4.
Mhm.
This is perpetual at least. Here, check, takes, and now Rook E7.
Looks like forced variation.
1 second. What if I take Bishop A6? You go. Ah, this is a problem. I thought I can get in with the king,
King C4.
but I can't.
Yeah.
And actually, white is in trouble now. And if I try to do this, you go here anyway, and here you stop me. Oh, bishop's hanging, of course. So this doesn't work. What else? I need to get in with the king. Oh no, I think this is still a decent idea. If you do this, I just go to the king, to the queen side, collect those pawns. What do I
How?
do?
Let me see.
Your move.
King F6.
I just take on d6 and go to the queen side. Maybe you should take the h3 pawn. Becomes double-edged. Take a look, rook g3 for example.
But you play E7. No,
rook
E7, rook E3.
And if I do here, you go here.
Yeah, now it's dangerous.
No, white will always make a draw. Just
Yeah,
keep
yes,
away the
you
bishop.
yeah.
But probably not. You take and I go a5. Then I take
Too
that
optimistic now.
pawn. I don't know, your move. What do you do?
B3.
b3, king c3.
But you cannot take on E6.
Why not?
King G7.
Oh, you take rook a6, right?
Yeah.
Rook e6, and I get the wrong pawn. And I get the wrong pawn, the h3 pawn is a draw. Huh. All right. These are all ideas I got at the moment. So white has chances for a win. So Ivanchuk chances for a win, Korobov chances for a win.
Mm-hmm.
And Van Gyu won against Krivoruchko. All right.
Let's go back
Arechin
into the
Kubu,
other games.
One more game. Who is better? White is better.
White is better, yes.
White is better, right?
Re-
The F7 is much-
definitely.
Yes. So Ukraine is losing to China 1 point, but in all 3 games, Ukrainians
They have chances to
big,
win.
good chances for at least one win.
Yeah.
Even 3-1 is possible now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. So Ukraine has decent chances to win back some.
Just a second. You
some
continue.
Oh, it's frozen. All right.
Okay. There was a problem with the
Everything
transmission.
all right?
Transmission, I think it's now.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a quick
Okay.
glance on Armenia's match. Something went wrong for Movsisyan, I think. he played king g7 at that position, and g5, h takes g, and he took with the knight. We consider taking with the queen, right?
King g7 was a good move actually,
Yeah,
but what we considered taking on with the queen.
With the queen. I wonder why he didn't like it. Knight takes, king f1, rook h8, bishop b2. Oh, that's a relief, isn't it? Black wants to exchange that bishop.
Yeah.
Takes, knight goes to d4 or c5. White is in but now b4 is possible. That was White's idea. Takes, rook d8, takes, bishop f3, h4, g takes h4, and now he chooses queen d3. What is the idea? For example, if king g2, maybe he's gonna give a checkmate somehow. What do you say? Is there a checkmate here?
Yes, probably this is a...
Maybe a very strong attack for black.
Like a strong attack, but maybe we can just give a break because we have a problem with the transmission.
Okay,
and
so we'll be back after
the problem will be solved.
Short break, I hope.
See you later. With our live broadcasting.
Maybe because many people are watching and...
Well, actually, they are trying to find out what was the reason for this problem. So we cannot tell anything for the moment. But anyway, we are back again. So we will just make probably a summary of the results. And as we all know that one of the most important matches of today is Ukraine versus China.
Yeah.
So at first we were thinking that China won on the second board or third board.
Third board. Krivorushka lost to Wang.
But then Ukraine made a great comeback.
Yeah.
Winning with 2 games on the first board and on the second board. Actually, it was Anton Korobov's game again. The guy made a miracle. He just found a
win maker of Ukrainian national team.
Yes, he is the hero also today, together with Ivanchuk.
He actually won quite convincingly.
Yes.
I don't think.
As you showed me one variation in Ling Diren's game, maybe we can check this variation. You showed me this very interesting variation.
Oh, yes.
At that moment, we were thinking that White is not winning. But
so yeah, after some time trouble, this was the move number 40.
Yeah.
So the position was not that clear yet, right? Black's pieces are jumping around. The king is not safe. King e3 was played. Rook f3 and very brave king e4 going to d5, d6. Where
great move actually.
Yeah, where the king would be completely safe. But now rook f5 was played and rook gf1, and I think we left off at this position.
We analyzed what we just missed, but later on we saw.
We were wondering what to do after rook e5, king d3, rook e1, rook takes c1 and rook e7, and it's not easy to find a way for White to make progress, to win, and Black's king is coming. I tried some b4, some other moves, they didn't work. And then we made a break and we went to see the games. And actually at this point, at this...
you showed me
at this position, Dink was thinking for a while.
For a long time,
he was thinking, and finally I realized that after rook e5, king d3, rook takes e1, this isn't checkers, right?
Yeah, you don't have to take it.
Unexpected rook f8 check, rook g8 followed by e7. And that's it. And that's it. Just there is no defense against rook g8. Even not e8 queen is the threat. Rook g8 is the main threat, and there's nothing Black can do about it. d5, bishop takes d5.
h5, rook takes, and then
bishop takes. Rook e6 is possible, or knight e6. Last chance maybe, but this is just...
Wait a second, what happens if he plays h5?
If he plays h5, I take here.
And then queens, of course, you give check first. Yes.
That's it.
Of course, with the check.
So
I was just dreaming what's going on here.
For example, rook e6, so, maybe not in this position. These are the variations that I briefly calculated. Rook e6, hoping for this, at least some chances. But of course, white can intermediate.
Yes,
move
first
rook
take
takes
the rook
g8,
and then
that's it.
queen.
So,
Yes.
so yeah, this was the problem. Not rook takes e1, unexpected check, and e7, and game is over. White is dominating. That's it.
Well, actually, afterwards, Dingliran's efforts.
Yeah, and if not this,
in vain.
this just doesn't work. White is too active, too strong pawn, and Anton realized the advantage quite convincingly. Rook d1, and that's
good
it, no
move.
defense.
Yeah.
d5, bishop d5,
He
just
saw that
postponing
he
the
is
inevitable.
losing, yes.
That's it. Just the pawn got promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how Korobov
So
won.
it was the key game.
Yeah.
And the other
And
game,
also Ivanchuk's game.
against Lee.
Yeah. Do you remember I said that Ivanchuk was playing for a win with black?
Yes.
Out
Actually,
of the
you
open.
were
That's
right.
why he played f6, h5, those
Such a mess,
strange-looking
yes.
moves, but just to confuse the opponent, just to make him be not so safe. If he plays normally, white is completely safe. But with this f6, h5, first of all, he can provoke him for the sacrifices. Exactly what happened.
He created many complications in the game.
Probably he was worse. Probably he was in trouble. But this is the way to play for a win.
Well, actually, he, as you said, Lee missed your move. F4.
Yeah, I don't know. We
as
did
far
not.
as we checked,
We did not check with the computer, but
as far as we checked, F4 was much a better move.
Here we stopped at this position. Lee was thinking, and he played bishop f3, takes bishop d5, winning another second pawn. But then somehow Vasily managed to reorganize his pieces. And take a look, the changes are quite obvious. Black developed all of his pieces, and the king is now suddenly
Still
safe.
maybe is not
Still
winning,
compensation,
but
we believe that f4 was stronger. But I strongly believe that Lee considered this move as quite an obvious move to open the rook. So probably he either didn't like something about it, or miscalculated, or maybe we're not seeing something.
Yes, yes, maybe.
But f4
maybe.
was definitely an option.
As far as we analyze this move, was a better choice for black.
Yeah.
Well, afterwards, really, Ivanchuk played an incredible game. You know.
Yeah,
he made a 1 point. I mean, this win out of nothing. You know, it's like almost losing position.
He created his opponent for complications, and he was better in those complications.
Yeah. Well, it's a great actually effort from the side.
That is actually the way to try to play for a win against weaker players. Just to go into
call a weaker player 26-79, you know.
Well, Vasily's rating is slightly underrated.
Still,
he is stronger, so there's still
is getting older now. Also, he's not in shape, you know.
But still, I think he had quite a break. I think few months. So I think he recovered, and so I consider Vasily stronger player, and that's why he played for a win. And only if you play very easy, like especially with black against Exchange Slav, it's really hard to win if you don't create. Sometimes your complications can turn out to be a loss, but if you are a very good player, you can outplay your opponent.
So he risked, but he got the reward.
Yeah. So and then he slowly rearranged his pieces. Actually, white won the third pawn, but black's pieces were very well coordinated now. And as the endgame arose,
after many complications,
this endgame arose. 3 pawns. Technically, in the endgame, they must be stronger even than the piece, but only with full coordination. White is completely discoordinated, and black is much better coordinated. And black is dominating. Just take a look what moves white has to do. Bishop d8, h3. So clearly, black is much better, and Vasily turned this into a full point. Maybe with some inaccuracies.
Notice how he created this theme?
He rearranged
knight
pieces
c3, bishop d4, and rook d2.
Yeah.
And after knight c3, the rook cannot enter from any column to the other side of the board.
Yeah.
He just put the pieces on this side, and then look at the position. He starts to push the a pawn.
He just cut off the rook.
Yeah, look.
King g7, nice move by the
continue, and rook d1, another great move.
Just trapping the rook.
And then rook b1.
And then collecting.
And then b5 check. And then the end of the game.
Yeah. Of course,
great
white
technique,
should have...
Great technique.
Yeah, white should have played, and white did, but in the end it was all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ukraine won against China with minimal advantage, 2.5 for 1.5.
Yes, and then let's see the other results if you want.
So And the other results would be...
Well, Egypt actually, still one game is going on, but between Movsesian and Ezat Mohamed. But this game looks like a draw. So I think this match will be 3-1 on behalf of Armenia. Yes, 3-1. Akopyan has won, Petrosyan has won. So 2 wins and 2 draws. Armenia is winning the match 3-1. The other match. Actually, the match of today was USA against Russia.
Yes, USA won very convincingly.
Nakamura's game today was really impeccable. We call it. It's without any, mistake. It's a great technique. The ending and also the tactic and everything was great on that game. So he won against Kramnik very convincingly indeed.
Yeah,
Kramnik did his best, but the variation and the strategy of Nakamura was really good. What did you think about this game?
Yeah, Nakamura won in the style that it's actually not his style, to play positionally and everything. But at some point he got into...
He won in a Kramnik style, we can say, with his style, he won. Well, actually, we congratulate USA for their win. Today also Ray Robson was our guest, and he showed us his game against Vitugov. It was really complicated game, full of complications, very tactical game. But towards the end, they had Zeitnot in time trouble. Vitugov missed a winning chance against.
But to be fair, it would appear Robson made a mistake before that, so the position was very not clear. But to calculate this, that variation that he showed us
was so easy.
Very long variation.
Very long variation. Only the computer can show probably this variation. So
we have the last result.
It was draw,
didn't manage to win against Ezat Mohamed. So Armenia won 3-1 against Egypt. Turkish team unfortunately lost 3-1 also.
We lost the revenge.
So 3-1 revenge by Germany. So Germans and Ukraine won both matches. Also Azerbaijan won against Netherlands.
Yes, Azerbaijan also had a good result.
Actually 3-1 against Netherlands. Yes. Very good result.
They also have now 2 wins after the second round. Azerbaijan and together with Ukraine and Germany.
Yes, and so far that's it.
Armenia also.
Armenia won, but they drew the first match.
Yes, they drew.
So we have 3 leaders: Ukraine, Germany, and Azerbaijan. But to be fair, Ukraine played already with USA, and yesterday against who did Ukraine play yesterday?
Ukraine yesterday has won against I think against Netherlands.
So today China, yesterday USA.
Yesterday USA.
Yes. So Ukraine
has beaten Kamsky.
So Ukraine 2 strong opponents, 2 wins, and Germany and Azerbaijan not the strongest opponents, but still both 2 wins, also quite good. And then only Armenia is on 4th place, right? They drew the first match.
They drew, and the other one
they won the second one. And
so we
Russia
still
is
have
unexpected.
7 rounds to go.
Yeah, so it's quite
open. Everything is
it's not
to be decided.
Not decided, not nearly decided, I would say.
So probably we have to finish our transmission, live broadcast today.
We apologize again for the technical problems. I hope they will be resolved.
And I hope you will follow us tomorrow as well. See you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Good night, everybody.
Bye.